the techno.
Hot and spicy news.
Sweet holy moly! Metro PCS is offering unlimited talk, text, and web for just $40 a month with all taxes and fees included.
It's a telecom miracle.
If this can be true, Chad, maybe your career in dance isn't yet doomed.
$40 a month, period, for unlimited nationwide talk, text, and web. Metro PCS, wireless for all.
Introducing the Gyro Bowl, the world's first ever snack bowl that spins and spins and stuff stays in. The Gyro Bowl is absolutely kid-proof. Gyro Bowl's inner bowl rotates 360 degrees and magically stays open side up no matter what. Pack crackers and grapes and get on with the chase. And when mom drives to the store, Gyro Bowl keeps the snacks off the floor. Moms love it because it's dishwasher safe and virtually indestructible. Plus, attach the Stay Fresh lid to keep food fresh between snacks. Call today to get the Gyro Bowl with the Stay Fresh lid for just $14.99. Call now and you'll get a second Gyro Bowl and lid absolutely free. That's 2 amazing Gyro Bowls with lids for just $14.99.
To order your Gyro Bowl for $14.99 plus processing and handling, call 1-800-662-5899. That's 1-800-662-5899. Order now.
All right, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is a goated cereal. I'm just saying. What up, everybody? It's your boy, the Infinite Dragon here, and welcome back to Feito's Day Night. I apologize for this not being last week, but Bleach came out, and Bleach is supposed to be on Thursday, but what happened was that Bleach was the PC version just did not work because you know, day one release issues. That happens to every game on day one. So the PC version just didn't work. It's supposed to be Thursday, so we had to move it to Friday, which is when Fate was supposed to be. But here we are now, doing Fate, and to make it up to you guys, I'm gonna go a bit longer for stream. But if you're watching the VODs for this, I'm gonna do something at about 3 hours. I'm going to take a I'm going to take a break, take a small break, and that's going to be the cutoff point for the VOD of it, and then we're going to start a new recording for the next one. So, just to recap where we left off, though, we found out that our quote-unquote best friend was a total asshole. Who could have seen that coming? He definitely tried to decimate and kill an entire school full of people. So, you know, that's neat. And I think we left off on our way to go whoop his ass. I'm pretty positive, so yeah. But anyway, Sarcasmic, thank you for being first. Hope you're having a great day. Okay. Saber and I headed out together, leaving Tosaka at home. It's 7:30 in the morning. The hilly road is extremely quiet. The road is unusually packed with students going to school, but there aren't that many people around today.
学校は休校だそうですね。死者が出なかったとはいえ、大半の生徒は未だ立ち上がれる体ではないということですか。
重度の栄養失調みたいなもんだからな。まともに動けるようになるまで何日かはかかるだろう。
But those are the lucky ones. There are still some whose injuries will last a lifetime.
タイガも病院に運ばれたと聞きます。見舞いに行かずともいいのですか、シロ。
ああ、藤姉のはただの疲労だと。心配しなくてもいいから真面目に家で勉強してろとさ。
I wouldn't believe that, but before we left, I found the Fujimura house and asked if Fujini was how Fujini was. I want to go visit, but I need to hold off for now.
では探索に専念するのですね。それはいいのですが、シロに当てはあるのですか。私はサーバントの気配を読み取れますが、それも近づかなければわかりません。何か手がかりがなければ探し出すのは難しいのではないでしょうか。
ああ、確かにシンジが何もせずに隠れていた場合、探し出すのは難しいだろう。けど、あいつの性格から言って、昨日の今日でおとなしくしているとは思えない。
Shinji's not the type to just sit back and take a beating.
では、ライダーのマスターは再び結界を張ろうとすると。
間違いなくな。俺と同じで、あいつはサーバントに魔力を提供できない。俺たちに復讐しようとするなら、まず魔力を貯めないといけないだろう。なら、見つけ出すのはそう難しくはないんじゃないか。
ライダーのマスターを探すのではなく、結界を探すのですね。
ああ、マスターの感知はできなくても、あれだけの結界なら近づけばわかる。それに場所も特定できるだろう。大きな建物で人がたくさん集まるところを当たっていけばいい。
What about that building that Tosaka was standing on earlier?
驚いた。やりますね、シロ。
俺だって考えなしってわけじゃないぞ。探し出せる自信がなかったらこんなことは言い出さないよ。
Wasn't the literal scene before this one like, oh, I don't really have a plan? Yeah, I'm confident. Abandoned field is one thing, but there's a point to us walking around like this too. Shinji probably can't leave me alone any more than I can leave him alone. I head to Shinji's house just in case. I have Saber check for Ryder's presence. She finds nothing. Well, Shinji's not supposed to just roll over and hide in his house after what happened.
行こう。シンジが結界を張るとしたら、こっちの町じゃなくてシントの方だ。オフィス街のビルを総当たりしていこう。
I call Saber over and turn to leave the Mateo house.
いいのですか、シロ。ここはさくらの家なのでしょ。立ち寄ったのですから、声をかけては。それぐらいは余裕があると思いますが。
I am worried about Sakura. According to Tosaka, Sakura was just weakened and luckily wasn't injured beyond that. He would have killed her? Holy shit. Hello, Dad. If it were up to me, I'd like to see her and take care of her the way she's always taken care of me. But
やめておく。この戦いが終わるまでは、さくらと会って戦いに巻き込むわけにはいかないからな。
besides, I can't possibly face Sakura when I'm about to head out to fight her brother. Should the worst happen and I actually kill Shinji, I'll never be able to face her again. I shouldn't leave any loose ends like that. It's best for me, and I'm sure it's best for Sakura too. We check every building we find. Of course, we start with the big ones, but so far, nothing. I'll have to sweat from my brow and force my leaded limbs to keep moving. I try to calm my labored breathing by taking just a moment to rest.
シロ、何か異常でもあり。シロ、こちらへ。
ちょっと待って、そっちは公園だぞ。こっちにはまだ見てない建物が残って。
それは後にしてください。今はこちらが最優先です。
Something must have caught her attention. Saber's tone is stern and she pulls me towards the park.
セイバー、どうしたんだよ。こんなところまでやってきて。ここには何もない。そんなのセイバーにだってわかるだろ
う。いいですから、そこのベンチに座ってください。話はその後で聞きます。
Okay. Saber's intense about this, so I reluctantly sit down. Then, for a moment, I almost feel faint. I hold my head with one hand. My forehead is damp with sweat and my breathing is labored even though I'm sitting down. Wait a minute. Why would I be sweating in this dead of winter?
おかしいな。こんなに疲れてたのか、俺。
As soon as I say that, I realize what's going on. I'm not exhausted. My wounds haven't completely healed, so they're tingling. This is unreal. No matter how much I try, I can't get my breathing under control. My body feels heavy and my legs refuse to take my weight.
ようやく自分の体に気がついたようですね、シロ。
Saber is mad. I don't blame her. I was the one who suggested searching for Shinji, but here I am sitting on a bench.
すまん。すぐ動けるようにするから、しばらく待ってくれ。
私が注意しているのはそんなことではありません。どうやらあなたには何を言っても無駄のようですね。
See, the Saber's mad. What I don't understand is why.
ちょっとセイバー、きちんと言ってくれないと何が言いたいのかわからないんだが。
わからないのなら語る必要はないでしょう。いいですから、シロはそこで休んでいてください。
Okay, but like, what are you like
一人
mad
で
at?
休むのが嫌なら、私もお付き合いしますから。
Saber sits right next to me. The bench is not that big. Saber is sitting close enough to me that our shoulders might touch if one. Oh my god! Physical touch!
いや、待てってセイバー。休んでる暇なんてないだろう。俺たちは遊びに来たんじゃなくて。
遊びになど来ていません。休憩も戦いのうちです。文句を言うのでしたら、まずその呼吸を整えてからにしてください。
いや、呼吸を整えろって。
Here I'm totally worn out and I can barely breathe, but having her so close to me makes my heart go absolutely crazy. And
シロ、人の話を聞いていますか？今まで体に無理をさせてきたのですから、まずは肩の力を抜いて落ち着いてください。気が散っていては体が休まらないのですから。
it's so windy, it's making my power flicker? I've never heard of that. Also, it's not windy here. It usually would be pretty, like, it's been storming. Like, yesterday it rained pretty hard, but it's so windy, it's making that power flicker. Never heard of that. You gonna be okay? Is this like is power lines weak as fuck, apparently? I guess so. I've heard of, I mean, electricity fucks up all the time, but I've never heard the wind being so strong and not being the power.
いや、だから。
If she wants me to be calm, it'd really help she kept her distance. I'm allergic to women. I don't know how Saber feels, but I can't help but see her as a girl around my own age. Well, she may actually be younger, but she's still a girl. And plus, she's beyond beautiful. No guy could stay calm this close to her, and I'm certainly no exception.
シロ、気のせいでしょうか。先ほどより顔色が悪くなってきた気がするのですが。
そんなことない。動揺なんてしてないぞ、こっちは。
She didn't say anything about being busted.
やはり横になった方がいいのでしょうか。この辺りで休めるところと言ったら。
Saber looks around. Oh, what are the odds that they're just being some random dude lying across on a bench near using his girlfriend's lap as a pillow in a park that's usually deserted? And Saber glances at the pair of lovebirds. She's obviously thinking.
シロ、気分が悪いのでしたら横に。
大丈夫、おとなしくしてればすぐに落ち着くから、余計な心配はしなくていい。しなくていいから当分ほっといてくれ。
I turn away from Saber and close my eyes. Anything to keep our eyes from locking. Up to 40-mile-per-hour winds, yay. Hoping it calms down soon. Hoping nothing like gets fucked up. Last time we had some high winds. I don't know if it was like 40 miles per hour or anything, but last time we had some really high winds. It knocked the cable that connects to the internet line. And we just didn't have internet for the next couple of days. And y'all know how ISP providers be like, yeah, somebody will be up there by 7 to fix it, and then just nobody comes. Think calming thoughts, Shiro. Now I just have to keep taking deep breaths and try not to think about Saber being right next to me. It took a night for the fire to die down. The searing, roaring red wall eventually disappeared. All that remained was a charred field, strewn and smoldering black lumber. That's not what that said, but I'll try again. Alright, I won't try again. I like to stream without crashing. You'll be fine. It'll be fine. I remember that while I lay there on the ground, the sound of it reminded me of sparklers. The sky was getting cloudy. It should rain soon. That will help put out the fires. I could hardly breathe as I lie there, staring dazedly at the sky. Charred remains hemmed me in all sides. Burns covered almost my entire body, with an especially painful sensation around my chest. My chest is gouged out. You could probably touch my... What? I could probably touch my own insides. Oh yeah, I've forgotten about that. I didn't collapse because I got tired. It's not that my numb body was trying to do me a favor by letting me rest. Collapsed because it was too much to hurt to keep moving after all. That's why I ended up accepting it. Calmly, no panic. I knew I wasn't gonna make it. Everyone else was already dead anyway, so I wasn't scared. Staring up at the cloudy sky, I felt myself sort of just fading away. Yet, in the haze of fading consciousness, I decided that as long as I was alive, I'd try calling for help, right to the end. Wait, something's off. I shouldn't be remembering this pain in my chest. I jerked myself upright and tucked my shirt open to check myself over. We must have been asleep for a while if we just crashed here. There's no scar on my chest. The respiratory distress that burn caused did almost kill me, but it didn't take a massive chest wound. If something like that had happened, even Kiritsugu wouldn't have been able to help me. More important.
夜になってる。俺寝ちまってたのか、セイバー。
Ordered food, probably shouldn't have, but oh well. You'll be alright. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Just sit back, relax, and listen to the wind. You're one of the people that likes the rain, right? Just sit back, relax, listen to me read you a book. It'll be fine. Don't even worry about it. If it's really bad, the internet will fuck up before your stream happens. So, worst case scenario, you don't stream.
はい。よく眠っているようでしたので起こしませんでしたが、その会話あったようですね。
人が悪いな。居眠りした俺が悪いにしても、起こしてくれてもよかったじゃないか。休んでいる暇はないって言っただろ。
休息は必要な行為です。それにシロが眠っていたのは1時間程度ですから、そう問題はないでしょう。
そりゃ結果論だ。俺が起きなかったらどうするつもりだったんだよ、一体。
そうですね。あまり変わりはないでしょう。日が落ちて寒くなってきましたから、そろそろ声をかけようと思っていたところです。
まあ、確かに体の調子はすごくいいけど。
I get it from the bridge to start walking through the field. There's no trace of what this field once looked like. No trace of when it used to be in the residential district, nor any trace of when it was cast in that hellish red light. But for some reason, I'm irritated that I dreamed that scene just because I slept here.
シロ、何か問題でもあるのですか？
ああ、いや、どうせ休むなら別の場所にするべきだったなって。ここはどうも嫌な思い出がありすぎる。
嫌な思い出？シロはこの場所に縁があったのですか？
そっか。話してなかったっけ？俺、昔はこの辺りに住んでたんだ。10年前の話だけどな。大きな火事が起きて、両親も家も焼け落ちた。その時に親父に助けられて、そのまま養子になったんだよ。
では、あなたは？
ああ、キリツグの実の子供ってわけじゃない。それに、聖杯戦争と無関係ってわけでもないのかな。ここが前回の戦いの最後の場所だってのは聞いてるよ。そこで生き残った俺がマスターになるんだから、皮肉というか、縁があるっていうか。
I'll walk through the field. It's been 10 years, but it still seems like the ground hasn't recovered enough for even grass to grow. Maybe all the resentment of the people who died here seeped into the land itself.
シロ、あなたが犠牲者を出すまいとするのは、それが理由ですか？あなた自身が聖杯戦争の犠牲者だからこそ、自分のような犠牲者は出したくないと。
いや、それは。
Now that she mentions it, I guess I can see people coming to that conclusion. Surprisingly, I've never thought about it like that.
どうだろう。セイバーの言うことはもっともだけど、俺はもっと単純だと思うよ。10年前さ、ここでキリツグに助けられた時はただ嬉しかった。それ以外になかったから、自分もそうなれたらいいと憧れたんじゃないかな。
Yeah, I was just happy. Words can't even begin to describe what I felt when I called out for help and actually got it. But at the same time, the happier I was, the more guilty I feel.
けど、自分だけ願いが叶えられたってのは居心地が悪かった。俺は親父に助けられたけど、他の人たちは助けられずにずっとこのままだ。
Everyone wished for salvation, but only my wish was granted. Once I was saved, and in exchange, everyone else died. And that's why I have to take responsibility.
けどまあ、起きてしまったことは戻しようがないからな。死んでいった人たちに報いたいなら、せめてこれからのことを防ぐべきだ。10年前のような惨事は起こさせない。またあんなことになったら、それこそ犠牲になった人たちに合わせる顔がないだろう。まあ、俺の理由なんてその程度のものだと思う。
Hey, what kind of food did you get? More importantly, we need to get back to looking for Shinji. I feel better now. We need to hurry up and check the buildings we haven't gotten to yet. Besides, there should be fewer people around at night. If Shinji wants to attack us, this will be the time. So if our plan is to bait and lure him out, it's time to get to it.
行こうか、セイバー。とりあえずオフィス街に戻ろう。セイバー、どうした？忘れ物でもあるのか？
いえ、ただ今朝のことを思い出していました。
I caved and got Chick-fil-A. Listen, Chick-fil-A is a bad company. However, the waffle fries? Listen, bro. I like my food to be kind of salty since I have like diminished taste, like because of my sinuses. The waffle fries hit, all right. It was the fastest delivery time. Oh, okay. In general, I thought you meant like they already delivered your food. The waffle fries hit. It's Chick-fil-A's waffle fries and the sea salt fries that Wendy's has. I don't know if they still have them, but they had some sea salt fries. Oh, bro.
体の傷を治してからライダーのマスターを探すべきだと言った私に、シローは順番が違うと言いました。
Hello, Batra.
シローは昨日も同じ言葉を口にした。以前から感じてはいましたが、その時に確信したのです。あなたには自分を助けようとする気がないのだと。
It's like just stares at me and lays it out. It's a sin or something.
あなたは自身より他人を優先している。それは立派ですが、それではあなたはいつかきっと後悔する。シローはもっと自分を大切にするべきだ。
Saber cuts past me.
行きましょう。確かにここにいてはあなたに負担をかける。
Saber heads toward the office district. I try to call out to her, but I can't stop her.
何を
Are you saying? That's what I want to ask her, but the words just don't come. There's no way I'm not trying to help myself. That can't be true, but I somehow can't think of a single thing to say to argue with her. We make our way, making my way through the hood. We make our way through the town after dark. It's a little past 8. Mission is at the most crowded hour, and Saber and I stare at the map of the town.
主だった建物は回りましたね。他に行くべき場所はありますか？
そうだな。少し離れたところに工場がある。あそこも人が集まる場所だから調べておかないと。まあ、工場っていうのはシンジの趣味じゃないと思うんだが。
Random question? Yes. We do not make conversation now, but it's still hard for me to look Saber in the eye. I think our conversation from earlier is still stuck in my head. Saber's acting like it didn't happen, which bothers me even more.
そういうセイバーの方はどうだ？ライダーの気配はつかめるか？
You go like the Dragon Quest series? I've never played the Dragon Quest series. I was thinking about playing that remake of Dragon Quest 3 because it looked really pretty. But otherwise, no. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest. Actually, let me just Google to make sure I am remembering the correct series. Yeah, this is the one that had this art style drawn by Akira Toriyama. Yeah. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest. There was the Netflix movie about Dragon Quest, I think 5. That movie was fire.
いえ、感じません。彼女とは一度戦っていますから、近くにいれば知覚できるのですが。
An odd feeling prickles my skin. I found around for the first one I ever played. Which one's that? Even I can feel the wave of magical energy that washes over us. There's no way that Saber can't.
シロ、言うまでもないと思うのですが。
分かってる。近くにいるのか、セイバ
ー。いいえ、まだそこまでの距離ではないようです。ですが、確実に見られている。この魔力は私たちに対する挑発でしょう。
If we're being watched, that means they've fallen into our trap. Releasing so much magical energy is an obvious attempt to lure us out.
で、この気配、ライダーなのか。
Dragon Quest 9? Is that the one with the not long, the main character with the bob? Like he's got like the shoulder length hair and shoulder length black hair. My mind changes gears. The awkwardness between Saber and me earlier disappears.
魔力をたどります。注意してください、マスター。
I nod. The wave of bloodlust I feel stinging at my skin is coming from the direction of the office district as it slowly empties of people. Big girl or boy in 9? I think you're thinking of the newest one. Ah. Today, of all days, maybe there'll be no one working overtime. Most of the lights in the windows of the building seen as the heart of the Shinto are dark. There aren't many people on the sidewalks. We have a pretty clear view into the building. I don't see anyone suspicious. If Shinji's anywhere, he'll be up ahead. Maybe in the park we just left. I feel the bloodlust grow. Reading is so hard! Ah! Alright, let me take that again. I feel the bloodlust growing more intense. The enemy's nearby. Or more like... A chill runs up my spine. If even I can feel this aura of bloodlust, then we're probably already in enemy territory. You guys ever try to do something? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand something, right? There are a bunch of, like, musicians and shit. You always hear about how musicians do, like, whole ass tours while they're sick or some shit. How? I just have normal, like, seasonal allergies, and I can't even read a sentence correctly. How are they doing whole ass performance? Like, I understand that a lot of people, like, a lot of musicians are just exceptional like that, but, like, all of them? Come on, bro. They don't sneeze or cough or get a runny nose on stage or anything. Imagine doing a whole ass Beyonce performance while having a high fever. Or like what Rihanna did. She was fucking pregnant. Beautiful. I assume they fake it lip sync. I think you'd be able to tell. Because the audio from a pre-recorded version would just be the audio from a pre-recorded version. You'd be able to tell they're not doing runs or anything. But as far as that goes, I like my fucking nose would be running on stage and shit. I wouldn't be able to see because my eyes are all leaky and shit. I'd mess up the choreography because I'd be high off NyQuil. Sorry, I had to blow my nose. If even I can feel this aura of bloodlust, then we're probably already in enemy territory.
Saber, 気をつけろ。何か変だ。
ええ、シロの感覚は正しい。このように人目のある場所で仕掛けてくるとは思いませんが、相手が相手です。用心に越したことはありません。
We both nod in silent agreement and make our way toward the park. It's probably best to ignore the oppressive sense of a knife being pressed into my throat. Shinji and Red are nowhere around the office district. If they're going to attack, it's probably going to be somewhere in the park where there won't be anyone else around.
Shiro!
Saber!
I turn towards Saber. She rushes towards me like a bolt of lightning and blocks a blow aimed straight at my head. Alright, hold on. Let me write it down. Music is crazy. I look up. A massive building towers overhead. Clinging to the side of the building like some kind of spider is Ryder. Her hair is long enough to cover her entire body, her limbs supple and white. I don't like the word supple. The masked woman is indeed our enemy, Ryder. She licks her lips as she stares down at me. The hairs on my back of my neck stand on end. There's no mistake. She came spiraling down from the top of the building, aiming to take my head in a sneak attack from our blind spot. Saber lands on the ground. In the time it took for her to rush in to block Ryder's attack, Saber summoned her armor.
Saber, あいつは
追います。シロはここにいてください。
追うってどうやって
Saber kicks off the ground. She disappears into the sky with a glint of silvery armor. Ryder clinging to the side of the building like that is absurd enough, but Saber leaping skyward in pursuit of her is just outright ridiculous. Bro, you got kicked through a hallway outside of a 3-story building, bro. Shut up. Every time I hear supple, I think of a woman whose breasts have been described by a male author. Yes, there's a lot of male writing here. You will see me actively get triggered if they if they use the word slender to describe a woman. No, they're servants. Normal logic doesn't apply here. Like Ryder, Saber's moves along the side of the building, striking her with dizzying speed. It's triggered with you. It's really annoying. It's always the one word. Like, it's always the word slender. Like, you can't think of a single other word other than slender to describe this person. It's always the word slender. Get the fuck out of here. The two shadows clash against each other. The sight of the two of them fighting overhead, darting along the building as they climb into the air. It's like watching two fighter jets. All the while, Alright, we understand that, we cannot help in this fight. Like, he understands this now. What I don't know is that should we just stay here or should we just go follow Saber? I don't understand what staying here would accomplish, but I don't understand what following Saber would also accomplish. Why do they always have to be slender? Give me my meaty goddess. I don't want a woman to be described as meaty either. I think it's most likely in Shinji's character to follow Saber, even though I don't think this does anything. I can't just watch it do nothing. The uneven footing prevents Saber from gaining ground on Ryder. The two clash in the air, rushing on up to the rooftop. If Ryder came flying down from the top of the building, chances are Shinji is there. We have two possible ways to win our fight against Ryder. Either we defeat her directly or we defeat her master, but whichever it is, it has to be before she deploys her noble phantasm. While Saber's fighting Ryder, there's only one thing I should be doing. Okay. Interlude. Okay. Oh, all right. I was gonna write down the interlude, but I don't need to. The two shadows climb upwards. They continue to distance themselves from the ground, gaining more and more altitude. Neither needs proper footing. They just kick their way up along the wall. As it happens, they clash countless times, all before they ever reach the top. For anyone watching from the ground, they'd probably think they were seeing a game of pinball, though I doubt they'd be able to follow the two with the naked eye. It's like a deadly circus act. The collisions are barely discernible, invisible to normal human beings. Saber had no desire to be a part of this crazy circus act. She may be a serpent, but she can't fly through the sky. She might be able to run up along the building's wall, but that's it. This is no better than free fall for her. She alternates between kicking off the building before she loses momentum and slowly slowing to let gravity take hold of her. It may be no exaggeration that she's falling into the sky. Now that she's started, she'll continue all the way up to the rooftop. And in the entire journey, if her opponent hits her, she'll be hurled to the ground. But it seems the laws of gravity do not apply to the enemy. To the opponent Saber has to defeat. The streak of purple shoots across the side of the building in pursuit, while Saber focuses on reaching the roof. Gravity has no hold on Ryder. She leaps around effortlessly, moving in and from all directions, up, down, left, right, to strike at Saber. Her long hair I want to know how Girly does all this with her hair past her feet. Anime logic. So my hair is pretty long. As you can tell by my model, my hair is at least to my chest. And we've been watching Hajime no Ippo, which is a boxing anime, right? And it's gotten me back into boxing, and I've been like practicing shadow boxing and everything. And I did not tie my hair back. And bro, the amount of times I punched my hair in, that shit hurts. Anime logic, that shit is impossible. Her long hair trails out behind her like a comet tail, and she looks like a snake wrapping itself all around a log. Saber's feet touch the wall, and leans sideways and kicks the wall, aiming for the edge of the building. Saber suddenly shoots out at a right angle to her previous trajectory. Now one of her attacks finds its mark. Ryder is simply no match for Saber's raw power. Saber shakes Ryder off with a single kick, and kicks upward once again when she reaches the building's side. She aims herself upward. If Ryder is like a serpent coiling around the building, Saber is like a bursting spark. But it looks like It looks like Ryder might have predicted her moves. The distance between them remains the same. Ryder continues along the side of a building, not letting Saber open any distance between them. She strikes every time Saber has to take a step. If I hear serpent one more time, I'm gonna crash out. Like, I think this is directly translated. They didn't take any like creative liberties on like what's going on in terms of like storytelling. But yeah, I mentioned that in a previous part where I said writing is supposed to be, maybe I did say this, I think I said this on the Discord, but writing is supposed to like avoid using the same, if you're describing the same thing, you should not use the same words to describe it, otherwise it gets repetitive. And this does not do that. Saber fends Ryder off with her blade and jumps to put some space between them. Though she's able to fend off Ryder's coiling pursuit, there's only so much she can do in the air. But before, there had been no contest in their combat ability. They're now more evenly matched. Neither of them has an attack that can bring this to a close. No, Ryder is withholding her own deadliest attack. Every time Saber leaps at Ryder fends off her attack, but never counterattacks. Ryder is only keeping Saber at bay as she makes her way to the rooftop. Saber curses at her cowardly enemy. To a knight like Saber, a fight like this is as good as an insult. Such a thing should involve both opponents giving their all in their clash. By that belief, Ryder's actions are disrespectful.
高いところは苦手のようですね、セイバー。
Ryder's voice is cool. She's right. Saber's clearly not used to fighting in the air. This is probably a first for her, actually. Knights are meant to fight on solid ground. They're not supposed to cling to walls like her opponent.
自慢の剣もここでは型なしでしょう。けど安心なさい。もうじき楽にしてあげるから。
Ryder moves upwards, her manner inviting. She set this whole thing up. Saber understands that, though. At the end of this circus, yes, Ryder's ideal positioning must be waiting up above. Ryder can't use her trump card so readily, which is why she's luring her prey to a place where there'll be no interruptions, so they can settle this with her ultimate attack. As soon as she reaches the roof, she'll be in a difficult position. If Ryder's noble phantasm is exactly what Saber thinks it is, she won't have any defense against it. But there is no turning back now. You can't just ignore Ryder or her master. This isn't about defeating an enemy in the Holy Grail War. Saber must defeat Ryder here and now and protect her master. Because she has no other choice. This whole situation must be absolutely dumbfounding for her. She's probably thought more than once about not wanting to push her master to do anything crazy. The two continue gaining altitude. The rapid clashes ring out across the building as the battle approaches its final destination. I rush up the stairs while I complain. I manage to enter the building from the back, but the elevator doesn't go all the way up to the roof. I have to run up the remaining 10 flights of stairs. That's annoying. Why would you make an elevator that stops 10 flights short? I climb the stairs as fast as I can. I'm not sure how long it's been since Saber and I split up. Probably less than 10 minutes, but that's too long. You never know how or when a battle will end. Even Saber's not perfect. She can make a mistake and get into trouble. So before that happens, if I can make Shinji use his command spells, Ryder might stop fighting. I'll keep randoms from jumping off easily. Dave, have you seen those Instagram reels or like YouTube videos or whatever about people just standing on top of a building and recording them being on top of the building? Do you know how they get up there? No? They just walked in. Someone just left the door unlocked and they walked in and got up there. So the elevator being there or not being there is irrelevant. They literally just walked in and then got up there. The harder I run, the more my still healing body aches. Sprinting around the building, then up the stairs, has left me out of breath. But I don't slow down. No, I speed up. Something about this has me worried. I'm not sure why, but my chest hurts. It's not a physical pain. Something is warning me of danger ahead. Saber can't win. There's something on this rooftop that shouldn't be faced. I try to shake this feeling off and focus on climbing the stairs. The wind is strong. The moment I open the door, the city's nightscape fills my field of vision. Scorch marks pocket the concrete. And at its center, at the heart of the burned, scarred rooftop, Saber is on her knees.
Saber! Shiro, どうしてここに?
Saber's shoulders heave with labored breathing. The moment I rush to her, I notice something strange floating above me. Or rather, the sheer, overwhelming amount of magical energy forces me to take notice. I look up towards the sky. Flapping wings. I hear flapping wings. Something, a paler and more blinding white than the light of the moon, hovers over me. Oh, she's the Pale Rider. Okay, then why was she a vampire then? She's literally death. She's fucking death. A legendary mystic I've only heard about in myth. The moment she reaches the rooftop, Saber confronts her opponent's true form. Saber leans on her sword, exhausted, and looks up. A white light rushes towards her. Saber unleashes the wind that shrouds her sword, using it to create an invisible barrier. She goes flying backwards. Her attempt to block the onrushing Pegasus fails to even slow it down. The force of the impact knocks Saber back, slamming her brutally into the ground. There's no time to be lying down. Its name is Pegasus. Pegasus turns midair and resumes its glide without so much as pausing. She can't possibly brace herself. Her only option is to try to evade. Even if she manages that, the after effects of its passage will chip away at her defenses. If this keeps up, it will hit her eventually. The white light streaks down toward her. Pegasus sails far overhead. Why is it saying Pegasus like a name and not the Pegasus? Pegasus sails far overhead and knocks Saber back before sweeping back into the skies. Saber can't possibly reach it. There are no walls she can kick off of. There are no walls she can kick off of. Not up here. Even if she could, there's no way she could actually reach Pegasus. Maybe it's its name? But how would he know that? How would he know that the Pegasus name is Pegasus? Despite her disadvantage, Saber waits for the opportunity to fight back. Pegasus it may be, but it's a living creature, so she should still be able to kill it if she can get the chance. Her opportunity for victory is if Ryder makes a mistake at the reins. It's a legendary figure. I don't mean what it is, I mean its literal name. Ryder's voice comes from high above. Like, Ryder's name isn't Ryder. We're just calling her that because we don't know her name. Saber grips her sword tightly as she looks up. I don't know then. I don't know anything about the Fate series. Neither do I. From what I've played is what I know about the series. Played of this game specifically. Ryder's voice is calm. Even so, you see how they changed it? Before they said Ryder's voice is cool, now they say Ryder's voice is calm. That's how you write. Even so, I hear just the slightest bit of joy in it.
幻想種だとは睨んでいましたが、まさかそんなものを持ち出してくるとは思いませんでした、ライダー。
A phantasmal species. As the name suggests, it refers to creatures which exist within an illusion. Humanoids, like fairies and giants. Demonic creatures, like Oni and dragons. They are considered mystics. That alone makes them superior to magecraft. It's the law of nature for mystics to be destroyed by other, stronger mystics. In the same way, magecraft grows in power with knowledge. Phantasmal species accumulate power from their longevity. Even if a human masters magecraft, the most they can accumulate is about 500 years worth of it. Take a species that's lived since ancient times. There's just no contest between that and a mystic that's only 500 years old. But it's been a long, long time since humans and phantasmals existed in the same world. The longer the phantasmal has lived, the further it's distanced itself from this world. The only phantasmal species in the modern world are a scant few hundred years old. So, Saber expected the phantasmal rider has at her mount to only be a few hundred years old.
信頼のものを持ち出すとは随分と業が深いようですね、ライダー。ええ、私はあなたたちとは違う。むしろあなたたちの敵だったものに過ぎない。故に
私が操るのはあなたたちが駆逐してきたかわいそうな子たちだけよ。
なるほど。歪んでいるとは思いましたが、英霊ではなく悪鬼の類でしたか、あなたは。
せいぜい呪いなさい。あなたでは私の子に触れることさえできないのだから。
Pegasus rests its wings in the air. It's a giant arrow aimed at Saber's heart, ready to fire at a moment's notice. She glares at the creature and thinks. Pegasus itself is not a powerful phantasmal species. A typical Pegasus is... Yeah, they're capitalizing Pegasus as if it's the creature's like given name. A typical Pegasus is just a phantasmal that can only match a demonic beast in power. Were that the case, it would be easy to defeat with Saber's invisible air alone. But it isn't the case. That Pegasus has existed since the Age of Gods, and has long since reached the level of a phantasmal. The horse is nearing the level of a dragon race, considered to be the strongest of all phantasmals. At the very least, its defenses are probably already at the level of a dragon race. Fun fact, I was almost the Infinite Pegasus as opposed to the Infinite Dragon, because I had a minor obsession with Pegasi in middle school. Since Pegasus possesses divine protection that exceeds even Saber's, whose magic resistance is unparalleled. The way it glides through the air, trailing massive amounts of magical energy, is like a castle wall bearing down on Saber. It can't be possible to avoid or repel something like that. But something else is odd here. Ryder simply summoned Pegasus and has no true name of its own. To Ryder, Pegasus is more than, say, a favorite dagger. Got caught by the dragons? Ironically, it is the same reason why I like Pegasus. And the reason why I like Pegasi is because of Beyblade. So, Beyblade had Dragoon, or the Azure Dragon in the Japanese. Seiryu, that's what it's called, Seiryu. And I liked it so much that it started my obsession with dragons. But they had a second run of Beyblade, and the main character used Pegasus, and I like Pegasus. But it's all because of Beyblade, basically. Oops. Even in her dire predicament, the possibility of defeat never enters Saber's mind. Instead, she thinks her chance will come when Ryder really starts to get serious. Whatever Ryder's noble phantasm may be, it'll have no trouble destroying a building like this. She just needs to focus on defending herself and staying alive. Then all she has to do is cut Ryder down as soon as an opportunity presents itself. Yes. If only her master hadn't shown up. I look up towards the sky. Flapping wings. I hear flapping wings. What the fuck just happened? Something. A pale. Oh, Saber was fun. Okay, that was really oddly. The way that was worded made me think that Shinji showed up, or not Shinji. Yeah, Shinji. I'm forgetting characters' names. Her Writer's Master. The way that was worded made it seem like a Writer's Master showed up. We showed up, and we showed up and fucked everything up. Something, a paler and more blinding white than light of the moon, hovers above me. The legendary mystic I've only heard about in myth. Why is it repeating itself? The identity of Ryder's noble phantasm. Could that be what scorched the rooftop and forced Saber to her knees? I see that Ryder is, as her class name suggests, riding a horse tearing across the sky. I shift my focus from Ryder. I thought I heard something. Yeah, I was right. I am remembering character names correctly. I can't tell how strong Ryder is while she's on her Pegasus. All I can tell is that the White Fiend has more magical energy in it than a few hundred mages could muster. No wonder the roof is a charred mess. That monster can destroy damn near anything around it just by running across it. If that thing charges up from the sky, even Saber wouldn't be able to avoid it.
やってきてやったんだ。顔ぐらい見せやがれ。
It's a race against time. I need to defeat Shinji. If I defeat the master, Rider will disappear. It's a horse with wings, what can it even do? It's a horse with wings with a fuck ton of magical energy. I hear laughter. Shinji must be hiding somewhere.
見たかエミヤ。これが僕とお前の力の差だ。
It's not even your power. Only his voice echoes. I fight down my impatience and try to focus on the sound of his laughter. Damn, the wind is so strong. I can't tell where the laughter is coming from.
残念だったな。格好をつけて余裕ぶってるからこういう目に遭うんだ、マヌケ。殺すときはさ、さっさと殺さなきゃダメだって理解できたかい？
シンジ。
Don't rush. Let him talk. Let him talk all he wants. The more he talks, the better chance I have of finding him.
けど僕は違うよ。お前もあのサーバントもここで終わりだ。何？これでも知らない仲じゃない。昨日の借りもあるしさ。せめて苦しまないように一瞬で死んじゃえよ。
This is bad. X is still high up in the sky, tips its head towards Saber. The vortex of magical energy whirls faster as if it knows no limit. If that thing comes at us at full speed, it'll blow the entire roof apart.
何安心しろエミヤ。お前に邪魔されたけどさ、学校のバカどももすぐに後を追わせてやるよ。お前が寂しいってんなら、クソ鬱陶しいサクラも付き合わせてやろうじゃないか。
Bro, he was gonna kill his sister.
シンジ、お前。
やれないだ。まずはその女だ。跡形も残すなよ。
セイバー。
A white comet streaks towards us, and at that moment, a storm rages around me.
セイバー。
For the first time, she forgets her enemy in battle. She is furious with her master for walking into this death trap, but she's also angry with herself for failing to anticipate him doing so. All those thoughts are cast aside now. What else can she do? Even now, in the midst of danger, she can only she can only see concern for her well-being in his eyes. Master? Yeah, you go with it. He's always been like this, actually. He may have understood that she was an exceptional knight, but that's never how he saw her.
どうやら余興はここまでのようね、セイバー。
I really like Ryder's voice. It's slightly raspy, and y'all know how I like that shit. Ryder's giggling voice reaches her even now. Ryder touches Pegasus' neck with both of her hands, and the beast's wings beat harder.
私の宝具は強力ゆえ、地上で使うには適していない。使えばどうしても人目につく。まだ他にマスターがいる以上、おいそれと使うわけにはいかなかった。けれど、ここなら覗き見される恐れはない。あなたを誘い出したのは、ここでなら都合がいいからと分かりましたか？
Something begins to form in Ryder's hands. It seems insignificant, really, a glittering golden rope.
それが貴様の宝具か、ライダー。
ええ、私の趣味ではありませんが。
She doesn't like it? こ
の子は優しすぎて戦いには向いていない。だからこんなものでも使わないとその気になってくれないのよ。
Pegasus lowers its head. This feral nature is not inborn within the creature itself, but coaxed from by Ryder's touch.
消えなさい、セイバー。たとえあなたが生き延びようと、あなたのマスターは私からは逃げられない。マスターさえ死ねば、頑丈なあなたもそれまででしょう。
Ryder's noble phantasm will utterly destroy the roof. If she's hurried, If she hurried, she might be able to carry Shidoro away and escape, but Ryder won't stop at just destroying the rooftop. Her master is not strong enough to survive a collapsing building. Meaning, to protect her master, she will have to destroy her enemy, Pegasus and all. She doesn't have time to think about whether this is the right thing to do. Saber glances one final time at her master, still some distance from her. He's doing his best to fill his role simply by gritting his teeth and keeping back. Oh, the last of her hesitation fades. What is ahead no longer matters. All that matters is this moment. In it, she must be her master's blade and defeat the enemy they now face. I hear the jarring, granting shout. Greeting. In that moment, Pegasus ascends higher. It vanishes from sight. Pegasus flies into the air. It's already lost its form. It rises up as if to shoot through the moon and then continues to arc by flapping its wings, powering itself toward powering itself down toward the ground. The blazing white comet streaks downward. It becomes an arrow of searing white light, but a rider continues urging it on. There's only one target. It intends to annihilate the enemy in its entirety, and the isolating guardian in the sky along with it. Bolero? She speaks his name, Bolero. Google senpai, help me out. Bolero. Oops. I don't think that's the full name. If a noble phantasm is the miracle that is released by speaking its true name. Oh shit! Bellerophon. Okay, let's see here. Hello, life. Bellerophon, Slayer of Belleros, was a divine Corinthian hero of Greek mythology, the son of Poseidon in Eurynome, and the foster son of Glaucus. He was the greatest hero and slayer of monsters, along Cadmus and Perseus before the days of Heracles. Among his greatest feats was killing the Chimera of the Iliad, and the monster that Homer depicted with a lion head and a goat's body and a serpent's tail. Her breath came out of the terrible beast's spreading flame. So, I think this is more in reference to the person riding the Pegasus, but it's the Pegasus. It is divine light. It is divine lightning. A thunderous flash. There is no emotion in her eyes as she looks on. The wind unfurls her from her blade and becomes a storm. The seal is broken. Layers of wind unfold from her blade. Her sword is finally visible. A storm rages before my eyes. The white light descends upon the rooftop. Saber, though she is so focused of that light, doesn't move. Saber! The raging wind, she's the source. No, not Saber herself. Her sword. I can't believe what I'm seeing. The blade should be invisible, but there it is. Like unwrapping bandages, the wind slowly coils away from the blade. The wind rages on. The multiple layers of seals peel away. Bands of wind dissolve into the air. She readies her now visible sword and turns back toward Pegasus as he dives toward her. Holy shit. Rider approaches as a brilliant flare of light. Bellerophon is now large enough to engulf the entire rooftop, and it's only picking up speed to destroy us, building and all. The bridle of chivalry lights up the rooftop. Time stops. In the face of inescapable destruction, my mind goes blank. The light is not coming from the bridle of chivalry. The light churns and builds upon itself. The light of Rider's mount is brilliant, but it can't hold a candle to the purity I see in this one. Saber is holding the ultimate sacred sword that has collected the lights of the stars. It was Excalibur. I wasn't okay. It threw me off. It had me threw me a red herring earlier in the game. I know it's just a half moon, but like this shot implies that she cut the moon in half. A single line of brilliant light. It's a blade of light shearing through everything it touches. The beam of light destroys Rider utterly as it cleaves through the clouds and disappears into the night sky. Most likely, if that sword had been used on the ground, it would have carved the trail of destruction through the city. Her sword is not unseeable. It simply does not reveal itself. That's the same thing. It's the golden sword that captivates all who behold it, with a true name of surpassing fame. Excalibur, the sword of promised victory. A sword that is said to have existed in England, a sword wielded by the king who has become the very symbol of knighthood. The strongest of servants, noble phantasm sealed by several bounded fields. That is Saber's proof of our own place as a hero. Silence falls over the rooftop. The wind has died down, and not so much as a breeze whispers across the rooftop. I stand dazed in place. I can't approach Saber. I'm still too confused to act, or maybe I'm just captivated by her sword. My mind is racing, and I can't seem to think of much that makes sense. Why does she have that sword? The golden swords belong to the famous knightly king. Everyone knows who. As I try to figure out how she came to have something like that, I realize my mind is doing everything it can to deny the simplest of possible answers. I don't need to be making all these assumptions. The sword's always been hers, and that's why her true name is so easy to figure out. The owner of that sacred sword can only have one name. Saber remains motionless where she stands. I should approach her, but my body won't listen. I've been told so many times that Saber is a heroic spirit. But now that I've seen for myself that she is indeed a great hero of the past, I hesitate to even get closer to her. I hear a shriek. Something is burning in the shadows. I turn to look. I see a burning book, slowly dissolving to a pile of ash, and... Good. Can we kill him now? Got my nails done, sent a pic to my friend, and she called me an adorable porcelain doll. And now, bitch, I'm invincible. Well, I'm kind of upset that you haven't shown me yet, Dizzy. What the fuck? I see Shinji cringing as he watches the book burn.
Shinji.
He must have realized how much trouble he's in now that Rider has been defeated. Shinji turns and sprints towards the exit of the rooftop. Oi! He leaps through the door to the stairway. I can't let him get away again. The moment I turn to pursue Shinji, just out of the corner of my eye, I see Saber collapse. My mind stops. Shinji's fleeting and Saber has fallen to the ground. I should... Man, fuck Shinji! Shinji's not about to hurt anybody. Little bitch baby. He probably summoned that summoned Rider by accident. It's crab meat and Greek yogurt. That's your lunch? That sounds gross. Can't leave Saber alone. Rider's gone, and the book that acted as Shinji's command spells is burned to ash. Shinji doesn't have a servant anymore, and he's lost his command spells. The contest is as good as over. Saber's my priority now. I rush to her. She's not holding the golden sword anymore. It's disappeared, and now there's just Saber lying on the ground. Saber's in bad shape. Beads of sweat trickle down her brow and her breath is shallow. Labored, she looks like she's got a fever.
そんな、おい、セイバー、何が、どうしたって言うんだ。
I call out to Saber nervously, but she doesn't respond. She's out cold.
セイバー。
I touch her forehead. It's hot as in like it hurts you it's hot? I jerk my hand away. It's unnaturally hot. Okay. She's got to be running a fever of over 40 degrees. Well, if she were a normal person, that would suck.
セイバー、おい、しっかりしろ。
I call out to her, but her only response is a shallow, anguished breathing. I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know what to do, but I can't just stand around.
うちに連れて行くからな。文句があるなら後にしてくれ。
I lift Saber up. She's so light. I knew that, of course, but now she seems even lighter. No, more than that, she's...
ちゃんと生きてる。
Saber is still the person I've known all this time. I'm pissed with myself for even hesitating. Dan, what's it matter if she's a hero? No matter who Saber is, she's here and she's still warm. How much of an idiot was I for putting a wall between us
すぐに
before?
帰るからな。それまでおとなしくしてろよ、セイバー。
I start running, Saber in my arms. There's no sense of triumph from this victory. All I feel is Saber in my arms, barely breathing. So no, I did call that before. I might have known from playing Type Lumina. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I did or not. But I mentioned this earlier that Excalibur has the sheath, which I can't remember the name of at the moment, which does healing, which is probably why Saber has the healing factor and why Shido is able to heal himself. Mm.
和室に寝かせてきたけど、あの分じゃしばらく目を覚まさないでしょうね。
So what, did she burn out through all of her magic?
So 遠坂がいてくれて助かった。俺じゃあ、セイバーの手当てなんてできないからな。
まあ、鎧を脱がせて楽にさせただけだから、お礼を言われるほどじゃないわ。セイバーの体も良くならないし、私は何もしてないもの。
But still, I'm glad Tosaka was here. The moment I arrived home carrying Saber, Tosaka understood what was going on. It's been an hour. She tried telling Saber what she was going to do, and then took her armor off.
それで、何があったの？シンジを探しに行って、帰ってきたと思ったらセイバーがあれでしょ？一波乱あったのはわかるけど、説明してくれないかしら。
I don't know how to explain. Saber's noble phantasm. You shouldn't explain that. I shouldn't disclose her true name. I can't decide on my own to reveal that.
ライダーを倒した。シンジはレイジを失ってリタイアしたよ。ただ、その時にセイバーがホーグを使って、その後に倒れたんだ。
セイバーのホーグね。まあ、追求するのは勘弁してあげるわ。今のあなたたちはそれどころじゃないものね。
それどころじゃないってどういうことだ？
言葉通りの意味よ。あなただってうすうすは気づいているんでしょ。このままじゃセイバーが消える。
Yeah, she burned through all of her magic. She says it so calmly. Tosaka just casually brings up one of the things I've been trying so hard to avoid.
消えるって、セイバーが消えるっていうのか、お前は。
I assume that if we chased after Shinji, she would have disappeared.
セイバーの魔力はほとんど空っぽなのよ。セイバーの宝具がどんなものだったかは知らないけど、よっぽど魔力を使うものだったんでしょうね。セイバーは自分の中の魔力をほぼ消費してしまった。今彼女が苦しんでいるのはね、 消えようとしている自分を必死に留めているからよ。
魔力がないから消える？セイバーは傷を負ってもいないのに消えるっていうのか？
ええ、サーバントにとっては外的ダメージより魔力切れの方が深刻な問題よ。霊体であるサーバントに肉体を与えているのは魔力だもの。それがなくなれば消えるしかない。もっともそんなことにならないようにマスターはサーバントに魔力を送るんだけど、あなたはそれができないでしょ。だからセイバーは自分の魔力だけで戦うしかない。切れたらそれまでよ。こんなこと一番初めに説明したでしょ。
That is definitely what Saber said.
けど今までは大丈夫だったじゃないか。セイバーだって眠っていればも
She
ちろん
didn't say that. No, she did not say that.
それはセイバーの魔力量が桁外れだったからよ。
What Saber said is that she's she's going to sleep to retain the amount of magical energy she had. I don't think she said that she can gain it back. So, no, she did not say that.
そうね。確かにセイバーの魔力はまだ残ってる。彼女ならまだ消えずに肉体を保つぐらいの魔力は回復できるとは思う。けど、結局はそこ止まりよ。セイバーはずっと今の状態で戦うことになる。宝具を使うなんてもってのほか。次に宝具を使えばセイバーは間違いなく消え去るでしょうね。
次に宝具を使えば消える。
Well, I wouldn't want Saber fighting like this at all. I don't even want to see Saber on her knees in that kind of pain again.
理解できた？結局セイバーを以前の状態に戻す方法は2つだけよ。マスターがサーバントに魔力を提供するか、サーバントが自分で魔力を補充するか。
By serving collecting it themselves, that would mean killing innocent people like Ryder.
まさかセイバーはそんなことはしない。セイバー自身がそんなことはしないと言ったんだ。
でしょうね。一般人を犠牲にするぐらいならセイバーは潔く消えるでしょう。なら方法は一つだけよ。セイバーを消したくないのならあなたが魔力を提供するしかないわ。
それはできるならとっくにそうしてるさ。けど俺は魔力を提供する方法なんて知らない。あいにく遠坂みたいに何でも
I assume in the original game this is the part where we have sex.
まあね、共有の魔術を教えてあげても間に合わない。シロは魔術師に向いてないから覚えるのに1年ぐらいかかるだろうし、覚えたところで使えないわ。まあ召喚時にセイバーとパスは通っているはずだから、まだ他に方法があるかもしれないけど。いい？セイバーを助けたいのなら彼女自身に人を吸わせて魂を食べさせるしかない。それはあなたにも分かってると思うけど。
That's the most realistic method, but it's...
もちろんセイバーは嫌がるでしょ。けど放っておけば遅かれ早かれセイバーは消えて、あなたは他のマスターから狙われることになる。
Saber's going to disappear? I can't even consider that. I still remember the warmth of her body when I was carrying her.
なら答えは一つよ。霊樹を使いなさい、エミ役。それで最悪の事態は避けられる。
What she's trying to say is, I need to order Saber to kill innocent people? I can't say anything. I resent what Tosaka is saying, but there's a part of me that has to admit it could be one of our options.
決断はあなたに任せるわ。セイバーは眠らせておけば落ち着くだろうけど、それでも限界は近いでしょうね。
Tosaka leaves the living room. I can't even lift my head. All I can do is listen to the sound of her footsteps receding down the hall. Do you want to save? I figured that was coming, yeah. Tria. That's the name she was given when she was celebrated at her coming of age. It was wartime. It began with the collapse of an empire. An empire that had been meant to be eternal was slowly waiting to die amid invasions from all sides. In preparation for many wars, the empire deprived of island nation of its military. That is how it began. Having lost the empire's protection, her nation had no choice but to become independent, and over time, it broke up into smaller nations. The invasions came again and again. Internal conflicts between clans spiraled out of control. And then came a long period of war, which would later come to be known as the Dark Ages. It is during this difficult time that she was born, heir to the throne. A long, tumultuous period of war. The king believed in a mage's prophecy that and so eagerly awaited the birth of his worthy successor. But the child born to him was not the child he desired. His child wasn't male. Fated king or not, the child could not assume the throne unless they were a boy. So the girl was entrusted to the king's retainer, and she was raised as a knight. The king was saddened, but the mage delighted. One's sex has nothing to do with one's worthiness to become king. More than that, the mage was convinced that the girl's absence from the castle until the day of the prophecy was proof she was the true king. So, she grew up under the care of a simple and wise old knight as his adopted child and successor. The old knight did not believe in the mage's prophecy. He simply raised her to be a knight and hoped for her to continue growing, because he felt something for her that reminded him very much of his own lord. But even without the knight's encouragement or intervention, the girl trained every day to become stronger than anyone else. If an alien country headed toward its own demise, it could only be saved by a king. The girl had sworn to wield her sword for that reason, and the reason alone, without anyone ever needing to tell her to do so. And then the prophesized day arrived. Knights and lords from around the nation gathered in hopes of being chosen to be king. If this was a contest to determine the best possible king, all assumed the selection would be made in a mounted joust. Instead, all that waited at the sight of selection was a naked blade thrust into a stone. On the hilt of the sword, the glittering golden inscription read, "Whosoever pulleth this sword from the stone is the rightful king of England." Many knights took their turn trying to draw the sword from the stone, but none were able to draw the sword from the stone, so the knights decided to compete in a joust, as they had originally expected upon arriving. The girl was not yet a knight, so she could not participate in the joust. She approached the stone of selection, which sat largely abandoned, its appeal having long since faded, and reached for the sword's hilt. She did not hesitate.
いやいや、それを手に取る前にきちんと考えた方がいい。
She turned around, and before her stood the most feared mage in the nation. He gave his warning. Once she takes hold of that sword, she will cease to be human. She responded only with a nod. To be king is to no longer be human. She has been resolved to this from the moment she was born. To be king is to kill more than anyone, in protection of everyone. The young girl thought of this every night and lay in bed, shivering at the implications until morning. Not a day went by that she was not afraid. But in that moment, she pledged that her days of fear were at an end. She drew the sword effortlessly from the stone, and bright light engulfed the whole of the site of selection. And in that instant, she ceased to be human. The king's sex does not matter. So long as they carry out the function of a king, none would care about a king's appearance, or even bother to pay attention to such a thing. And even if someone noticed that the king was a woman, it would not matter so long as she was a good king. Sword's magical energy must have halted her growth. I see. While many knights found it eerie and feared her, most saw their lord's immortality as a divine gift. And so, the legendary celebrated age of the king began. The new king, in battle, was seen as something as of a god of war. The king always led from the front. No enemies could stand in her way. Altria, the god of battle. Hailed as a dragon incarnate, she knew no defeat. In 10 years, she fought 12 battles and never lost once. In those days, her chief duty as king was on the battlefield. Not once did she turn back. Not once was she disgraced. She was raised to kingship and fulfilled her obligations without hesitation. Maybe that's why I had a vision of her. Her soul must still be on the battlefield. It's not yet dawn. She stands under the indigo sky and lets the wind whip at her. She stands under the indigo sky, lets the wind whip at her as she stares off into the distance. The sky is high and clouds slide. Why is reading so hard? The sky is high and clouds slide by overhead. Out in the clear air, sword in hand, she gazes at the great army she's about to confront. The image of her won't leave me. It's burned into my mind now. She and her sword are one. The sword from the stone, which chose the king. The brilliance of the sword that determined her fate is also her brilliance. But I tilt my head and wonder at this dream. That sword isn't the one she holds. It's similar but different. The sword she holds now isn't the one she used last night. If that's the case, what happened to the incredible sword? When I wake from my dream, I find myself in my own room. It's bright outside. I must have come back to my room last night, unable to make a decision, then fallen asleep while I was watching over Saber. It was a strange dream. What I saw, I had no way of knowing any of that, and that wasn't the Saber I know. Is it even possible for me to dream of such a thing? I racked my brain. Saber's identity had been unclear. And honestly, I still can't get my head around who she really is. Saber is Saber. I can't change the way I act around her, and I don't think Saber would want that in any case. She looked really cool with that sword last night, but she looked good with the sword in my dreams too. It'd be fair to say that I was in awe. The sword last night, the sword from my dreams seemed to have left one hell of an impression on me. I guess I got a thing for swords. I thought Lancer's spear was beautiful when I saw it too, but my passion for swords is on a whole other level. It would appear I have a thing for swords. Why did we say that twice? I drew in a deep breath and reached up, finding my forehead dripping with sweat. Bashra! Bashra, kill that guy! In stream. Destroy him. Crush him. Hakai. Thank you. It was a bot, for anyone curious. I wiped the sweat from my forehead. It's winter, but my body feels flushed. I don't know why, but it feels like my blood is getting hotter. It's unsettling. My whole body's been hot for some reason. My left hand, the one with the command spells, feels like it's holding a hand... Feels like it's holding a hand warmer. Okay. I take a deep breath, trying to calm myself. She still hasn't woken up, but it looks like she's stabilizing. Her breathing is even, and the pain look she had last night has smoothed over. Saber is sleeping peacefully. It's a morning like any other. Maybe if I let her sleep, Saber will recover? That way, I won't have to make her kill anyone. Then she could stay with me, just like she has been. I slam my fist into the wall. My own weakness nauseates me. I stand up without another sound. I don't know when Saber's gonna wake up, but I have to make a decision before she does. Tosaka's not up yet. The house is completely dead and then the corridor feels deserted. No, it only feels like that because I'm so down. I can't decide what to do, so the whole world feels hazy. I'm just wandering in the grayness. What? I hear something cutting through the air. I know that sound. That's the sound of a sword swinging through the air. I don't feel like making breakfast, so I'll take a walk and check it out. It's colder than usual. Must be really cold for me to feel it, feverish as I am. Looks like it might even snow. The sound of something slicing through the air reaches me at regular intervals. As I cross the yard, my breath mists the air. I find him in front of the shed. Given how unsurprised I am to find him, I guess he figured I'd be here. He must have been shooting his arrows. Ah! The moment Archer sees me, he lowers his bow in displeasure. Shiro's really pretentious and it's annoying me. Bro, his name is Archer. Do you think he'd miss or fuck something up? He doesn't have to tell me that. So the sound was just his bow itself. For some reason, Archer was just plucking his bowstring, not firing arrows.
What does
that mean?
お前たちの弓は己に当てる射であり、私のは敵に当てる矢だ。お前の言うアーチャーというのは礼節を重んじる者のことだろう。
His lips curl snidely. So he basically just said he's a killer. I still can't stand this guy.
誰もお前に弓のことを聞こうだなんて思ってないよ。ただ何をしているか気になっただけだ。
見ての通り、調子を測っているのだが、セイバーにつけられた傷も癒えた。いつまでも見張り役というわけにもいくまい。
I see. So his wounds have healed. That means Tosaka will get back into the fight. I tread on my heel. If Tosaka and Archer are going to rejoin the battle, I need to make a decision too. I need to go somewhere I can think alone.
斬新という言葉があるな。
That's a Japanese word.
ことを済ませた後に保つ間のことだ。
Oh, okay.
私の弓術とお前の弓道で唯一共通しているものがそれだと思うのだが。
なんだよ。お前なんかに発説を解かれる覚えはないぞ。
He's trying to help you.
まあ聞け。矢を放った後、体は自然と場に止まるという。それを斬新というそうだな。
Yes, there are 8 movements in Kyudo called the Zanshin? It feels like it sounds like a Japanese word. Maybe it's not. Let me see. Let's Google it. Zanshin. No, it's a Japanese word. No, it's totally Japanese word. All right, cool. Let me read the description for chat though. So I literally just googled it. Zanshin is a state of awareness of relaxed alertness in Japanese martial arts. Its a literal translation of Zanshin is remaining mind. They're talking about Ultra Instinct. Like, you guys remember how Ultra Instinct was like, oh yeah, your mind is completely at peace and it just does things on its own. They're talking about fucking flow state. There are 8 movements in Kyudo called the Shasho Hatsetsu, which are the 8 principles of shooting. The final step, Zanshin, is what follows after releasing your arrow.
それがどうしたっていうんだ、お前。
心構えの話だ。斬新とは己の行為。放った矢が的中するかを確かめるものではない。
It's about getting ready to shoot the next target?
矢とは放つ前にすでに的中しているものだ。射手は自らのイメージ通りに指を離す。ならば当たるか当たらぬかなど確認する必要はない。射の前に当たらぬと思えば当たらぬし、当たると思えば当たっているのだから。
そんなことあるか。どんなに当たるって思っても当たらない射はある。思うだけで当たるって言うんなら誰だって100発100中だ。
That's not what he's talking about. He's talking metaphorically.
そうかな。少なくともお前は100発100中だろ。
He catches me off guard there. I mean, he's right, but...
まあ、そんな話はどうでもいい。言いたいことは一つだけだ。斬新とは矢が当たるかどうかを見極めるものではない。放った矢がどのような結果になるかなど分かりきったことだからな。ならば斬新とはその結果を受け入れるための心構えではなかったか。
分かってる。要するに最後まで見届けろって言いたいんだろう、お前は。
そういうことだ。セイバーのことは聞いた。彼女がこのような状態になるのは初めから分かっていたことだろう。魔力の提供もなしで戦っていればいつかは消える。それはもう決まっていたことだ。ならば
All that's left is to accept the result. Hello again, Sarcasmic. I assume you've been lurking. Hope you've been enjoying the stream. He's telling me that no matter what I decide, no matter what it does to Saber, all I can do is see it through. I turn my back to Archer. This time I'm going to be the one to leave Archer hanging.
あ、それともう一つ。気がついていないようだから教えておこう。
His voice comes from behind me.
セイバーはな、宝具を使えば自分が消えると分かっていたはずだ。彼女はおそらく最後まで宝具を使う気はなかったのだろう。
This time I hear nothing but of his usual sarcasm.
にもかかわらず宝具を使った理由は一つ。セイバーは自身が消えることよりお前を守ることを選んだのだ。それを決して忘れるな。
For once, his voice is completely sincere. He's only telling the truth here. When I like. Well, I appreciate the lyric then. Do you know anything about Fate? The park is empty as usual. Maybe because it's chillier than usual. There's hardly anyone out. Looks like I'm the only one walking around right now. I slumped down onto a bench. Well, I came here to be alone. Now that I'm here, I should think of what to do next. I can't put my decision off any longer. If I want to defeat the other masters and end this Holy Grail war, I need Saber. That's not what this is about, though. I just don't want to lose Saber. But that means I'd have to have Saber attack people, like Ryder did. I can't let her do that. Giving Saber that order is as good as telling her to die. Besides, I think she just refused outright. But when my head slumps down, I see my left hand. I have 2 command spells left. If I use one, I can force Saber to obey me even if she refuses. I bite my lip and shake the thought off. It's ridiculous. Time slips by me as I sit on the bench. I have no idea how long I remain sitting there. But just as my fingers start to tremble from the cold... Ah! I figured we'd see her. I look up, hearing a voice calling to me.
やっぱりそうだ。こんにちは、シロ。浮かない顔してるけど、何かあったの？
イリア、お前また一人でこんなところまでやってきたのか。危ないぞ。どこにマスターの目が光ってるか。
I'm about to warn her that other masters might be lurking nearby, waiting to attack. I catch myself realizing how stupid that would be. Really is a master. I shouldn't be worried about her or enemies.
悪い。今はイリアと話をする余裕がないんだ。せっかく会えたけど、話し相手になってやれない。今日は冷えるし、帰った方がいいぞ。
I don't get up from the bench as I dismiss Ilya. There's plenty of things I'd like to talk to her about, but I can't think of anything other than Saber right now. What's going on? Ilya doesn't say anything. She's looking at me as if I'm a stranger.
イリア。いや、別にお前を邪険にしてるんじゃないんだ。今はちょっといろいろと立て込んでいて。
知ってるわ。セイバーが消えかけてるんでしょ。
How the fuck do you know that?
それで、シロはどうしようかって考えてるのよね。
Just out of nowhere, Ilya's voice has gotten so cold and detached.
イリア。
そんなことで悩むなんてバカみたい。シロがそんなだから、ライダーのマスターにも逃げられたのよ。負けたやつなんて殺しちゃえばいいだけなのに。
I move my feet. Something tells me this isn't a time to be sitting, so I shift my weight forward to get up. Hello, Rocket Pal. But my body doesn't move as if entranced by Ilya.
イリア、お前、なんでそんなこと。
言うまでもないでしょ。昨日の夜ね、私もあのビルにいただけよ。
Well, that's bad.
もっとも、さすがにビルの中で様子を見てるしかなかったけど。
I try to make my hands and feet move, but nothing happens. No, it feels more like I try to move, the stiffer they get. It's those eyes. Whenever I see Ilya's red eyes, my senses go dull.
あ、もう金縛りになったんだ。シロったら守りも何もないんだもの。一人でいれば簡単に捕まえられるって思ったけど、こんなに簡単に行くなんて可愛いな。
いや、
無駄だよお兄ちゃん。そうなったらもう動けないわ。もうじき声も出なくなるけど、心配しなくていいよ。私もね、今日はお話をしに来たわけじゃないもの。
She came to kill us. Ilya's eyes blaze with murderous intent. This is Ilya as I saw her on the other night, Berserker's master.
俺をここで殺すつもりか。
I grit my teeth and gather all my strength. But my fingers won't so much as budge. It's like Ilya's stare has frozen my every nerve in my body.
だってもうマスターでいてもしょうがないでしょ。セイバーが消えたらシローは一人きりだもの。いつまでもマスターにさせてられないわ。戦う手段がなくなったシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
Ilya raises her hand. Her slender white fingers reach for my chest. They did the thing!
他
他の人に殺される前に見つけられてよかった。それじゃあ、おやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。どうせセイバーも消えるんだから、早い方がすっきりするでしょ。
My vision fades. My limbs have gone completely numb and now I can't see. How long I've been stuck in this darkness. Before I can figure out whether I'm alive or dead, I lose consciousness. My body is burning. Even if my consciousness has fallen into darkness, the burning of my body tells me I'm still alive. Yes, that must be the reason I'm still alive. Even so, it may only be temporary. Ilya even said it.
戦う手段のないシローなんて簡単に殺せるんだから。
She's absolutely right. Without Saber, I can't fight a proper battle. Only guerrilla wars between servants. There's no way I can go up against servants. That's been proved more than enough by now. Each time I got absolutely thrashed. Like Saber said, all I can do is against servants is try to survive as long as possible. I can't do that. Just cut to pieces, even thrown out of a third-story window. It's only this weird, inexplicable thing going on with my body that's kept me alive. It's so frustrating. It makes me so angry. In the face of an unbeatable opponent, I couldn't stop the catastrophe in front of me on my own. Even though I decided to fight. I said I was going to fight as a master and vowed to not hurt anyone, but I couldn't even keep those promises. I'm pissed off. The champions of justice I strived to emulate when I was young always had to win, or there would be no point. My body is burning. Every inch of me trembles with the need to win. But I have neither the means to win or even a way to fight. What good am I? I can't even fight alongside Saber without bringing her down.
それも間違いだ。エミやシローは格闘には向かない。お前の戦いは精神の戦い。己との戦いであるべきだからな。
Suddenly, I remember Archer saying that.
戦いになれば、エミやシローに勝ち目などない。お前のスキルでは何をやってもサーバントには通じない。
I know that. I've certainly been reminded more than enough. I died 3 or 4 times.
ならば、せめてイメージしろ。現実で叶わない相手なら、想像の中で勝て。自身が勝てないのなら、勝てるものを幻想しろ。
You don't have to remind me. I can only win in my own head. But what can I imagine that would ever help me win? I can't imagine beating a servant. I don't have such a wild imagination as to fool myself. Any fantasy I come up with would be full of loose threads that will come unraveled. My third-rate imagination hasn't got a prayer against these incredible servants. That's why... Who do I win against? How do I win? I'm still searching for the answer. Am I really searching for it? That golden sword? It's only meant for Ho. I don't want it for myself. It's so beautiful. Just once, I'd like to hold it in my hands if I can. I guess this is just a bad habit I've picked up from picked up as an untrained mage. Since all I can do is look within myself, I tend to dream about stuff I shouldn't. I should at least be allowed to dream. First, I imagined that thing's basic structure, and then reproduce it. I guess there's not much point in strengthening here. If strengthening is the act of applying something to an existing object, there's not much point in doing that to something that doesn't even exist. That means I need to work harder if I'm going to remember that sword. This is well before the basics. This is from before Kiritsugu taught me strengthening, a magecraft process that I thought up on my own and packed with trivial steps. Let's see. How did it go? How did I give it form? When I come to, I have no idea where I am. Are we in Ilya's room? Did she just take us to our house? This place isn't just unfamiliar. There's a luxurious canopy bed and the plush carpet is ankle deep. There's even a stone fireplace, and it's clearly not just for decoration. What I initially take for wallpaper, I realize on inspection, is actually patterns engraved on the wall. Oh! I've gotten used to fancy decorations like this, like these ones from Shinji's mansion, but this is something else entirely. It's a little embarrassing to say this out loud, but this place is like a castle from a fairy tale. My vision blurs. My body feels strangely heavy. Maybe I'm having circulation problems or something? I feel like I might fall back asleep if I relax even a little. I try to get my clouded mind working. I was... Oh, right. Ilya paralyzed me and I just passed out. There's nobody in the room. My body feels heavy, but not so bad that I can't even lift a finger like before. If I really work at it, I might be able to lift an arm. My drowsy mind suddenly jolts to full alertness. I realize I'm in danger, so I study my surroundings carefully. Steady. It's not as bad as I imagined, but I still can't move. My whole body is weirdly... I can't get up with my arms tied behind me. There's nothing here to tell me what time it is. A window. There's a window behind me. I try to turn to get a look, but the curtains are closed, so I can't see outside. All I can say for sure is that the sun's set. I ran into Ilya in the morning, so it's at least half a day. I don't have time for this. I have no idea where I am, but I need to get back to Saber as fast as I can. Saber's in a weakened state. I can't be even more of a burden to her by letting something like this happen. I try to make my arms move. If I'm going to escape, I have to do something about these wraps around my wrists. The door opens. I go still just as Ilya enters the room. Cute outfit. Ilya's not acting like she had earlier. The coldness in her eyes is gone. She's back to acting like a cheerful girl she had been at the park the other day. Ilya peers into my face looking puzzled. She seems genuinely concerned for me.
大丈夫だ。声は出るし、頭の方も自分が捕まってるってわかる程度にははっきりしてる。
何よ、不満なの？捕まえた敵はね、本当は地下牢に入れておくものなんだよ。けど、それじゃシローがかわいそうだから、特別に私の部屋に連れてきてあげたのに。
I don't know if that's good or bad, but at least I understand what's going on a little better.
なんとなく状況は分かった。俺は捕まって、ここはイリアの住処ってわけか。
I speak flatly, trying to kill my emotions. Until I understand completely what's happening here, I just need to listen.
そうだよ。前に言ったでしょ。私は森の後ろに住んでるんだって。ここは樹海の中の城で、周りには何もないわ。シローが住んでる町まで車で何時間もかかるんだもの。助けになんて来るはずもないし、絶対に邪魔も入らない。
そうか。それは分かったけど、 なんだって
Yeah, weren't you about to kill me?
俺を殺すんなら、あの公園でできたじゃないか。
なんで？私、シロを殺す気なんてないよ。シロは私のだもん。他のマスターは殺すけど、シロは特別。だから誰も邪魔が入らないようにシロをここに閉じ込めたの。
I find myself recoiling. Leah pushes her face closer to mine, ignoring my agitation.
エリア、ちょっと。
I know it's inappropriate, but the way it broached, that is a child.
やっぱりシロは特別。ねえ、私のサーバントになってみない？シロが私のサーバントになってくれるなら、もう殺さなくて済むわ。シロがうんって言ってくれれば、それでシロだけは助けてあげるよ。
Amelia's words are so pure and heartfelt. I know that if I nod even once, I'll be a choice I can't unmake, and I will absolutely come to regret it. On the other hand, if I refuse, that purity will turn into pure wickedness. With Ilya leaning so close, my mind grinds to a shrieking halt. She's not saying that this because she likes me. This is more like an interrogation, a matter of whether I want to live or die.
考えるまでもないでしょ。シロにはもうセイバーはいないんだもの。戦う手段なんてないわ。ならマスターでいてもしょうがないじゃない。
違う。セイバーはまだ消えていない。そんなことさせるもんか。
けどそんな状態じゃ簡単に殺されちゃうよ。いいからシロはここにいればいいの。シロがずっとそばにいてくれるなら、私もずっとシロを守ってあげる。
Ilya presses closer against me. I'm not sure what'll happen if I refuse, but I still can't agree.
ダメだ。離れるんだ、イリア。どんなに言われても、俺は。
Ilya presses her index finger to my lips. She giggles in amusement and watches me in my bewilderment.
もう、分かってないんだから。いい？今のシロはカゴの中の小鳥なのよ。生かすも殺すも私の自由なんだから、あんまり私を怒らせるようなことは言っちゃダメ。10年も待ったんだもの。ここでシロを簡単に殺しちゃうなんて。
あ？
そんなのつまらないでしょ。
Ilya talks like she's asking for a toy. The sheer cold-heartedness in her voice sends a shiver down my spine.
これで最後だよ、お兄ちゃん。もう一度だけ聞いてあげる。
Ilya's eyes shine with hope.
シロ、私のものになりなさい。
Ilya's tone is bewitching and brooks no refusal. Well, chat, I ain't nobody's bitch. I don't even need to think about it. Shit, even I only have so much patience. Every single one of them is sure that Saber's going to disappear. Saber won't disappear. I'm gonna fight with her until the end. I can't let this destroy the oath we made.
イリア、お前の言うことは聞けない。俺にはセイバーがいる。セイバーが残っている限り、マスターとして戦うだけだ。
A soft gasp. For a second, her red eyes snapped open as if she'd just gone to rigor mortis.
そう。あなたまで私を裏切るのね、シロ。
At what point did I say that I was betraying you? Like, how did you come to that conclusion? Ilya backs away. She looks down but maintains her composure.
いいわ。シロが私の言うことを聞かないなら、私もシロの言うことなんて聞かない。
I'm curious about the flowchart though. Do we get points for her for doing that? Alright, whatever. We're not dead yet, I guess.
今まで見逃してあげたけど、それも これでおしまいなんだから。
Elia's voice is dripping with hostility now. There's something terrible lurking behind that malice.
待っていなさい。すぐに用を済ませてくるから。
待て、何をするつもりだ、イリア。
何って、セイバーとリンを殺しに行くの。二人を殺してくれば、シローも少しは後悔するでしょ。
Even if that is true, that would not make me feel any differently towards you.
バカなことを言うな。セイバーもトーサカも関係ない。俺は自分だけの都合でイリアとはいられないって言ってるんだ。
そうなの？けど二人は殺すわ。それが終わったら次はシローの番よ。私のものにならないのならシローなんていらないもの。
I hear Ilia's footsteps moving off. Ilia's serious. She really needs to go kill Saber and Tosaka.
やめろイリア。セイバーもトーサカも関係ないだろ。捕まってるのは俺なんだから。憎いって言うなら俺だけにしろ。
She was gonna kill.
理由なんてない。
She was gonna kill Tosaka anyway.
理由はあるわ。私以外のマスターは生かしておけないもの。
Yeah.
それが聖杯戦争でしょ。
バカ。簡単に人を殺すなんて言うな。お前にはそんなの似合わない。イリアはまだ子供なんだから、そんな真似だけはしちゃダメだ。
Ilia stares at me in disbelief.
残念ね。私はもうマスターを殺してるんだよ、お兄ちゃん。
She sounds so joyous as she says it.
もっとも、それは昨日の話だけど、予想外といえば予想外だったかな。私、あいつはお兄ちゃんが手を下すって思ってたのに。
Oh, she killed Shinji. I mean, fuck him, he deserved to die, but I didn't want her to do it. In that instant, I surprisingly understand exactly what she's talking about. Ilia was in the building last night, which means she must have seen the master running for his life and as perfect prey.
ごめんね。シローがやらないから私がやっちゃった。本当は横取りって好きじゃないんだけど。
She doesn't sound guilty at all. It probably meant nothing to her. It makes me realize something. I've probably known this since the moment we first met. She really doesn't know the difference between good and evil. Yeah, that is a child. That innocent laugh is just as much Ilia as the merciless laugh I hear now. It's not that Ilia was a devil on one shoulder and an angel on the other. Ilia, however angelic she may look, is a devil.
それじゃあ行ってくるわ。帰ってきたらシローの番なんだから、せいぜい逃げ出す努力でもしていなさい。もっとも、カゴから逃げ出せないから、小鳥は小鳥なの。お兄ちゃんじゃ、この鳥カゴからは出られないでしょうけど。
Ilia leaves. She's absolutely right, of course. She knows nothing of threats or tactics, so she just says what's true. But I can't stay here forever. I need to escape and meet up with Saber before Ilia can attack her. I shake myself trying to loosen the ropes around my wrists. Maybe she really doesn't think I can escape. There's no one else here. If I'm not being watched, even I can manage to get at some ropes, but... My body just won't listen to me. My limbs move, but they're heavy as lead, and just trying to move at all is exhausting. I can't move like this. Even if I get out of the rope, I won't be able to escape the room if I can hardly move. They must be mystic eyes. I hear truly superior mages can perform some sort of magecraft just by making eye contact with their target. That's fucked up. Restraint is a common effect of mystic eyes, so that's probably what's going on here. Eyes are how we take in visual information, so we're susceptible to suggestion in spells. That is why most mages employ some sort of protection on their eyes to block out the other mage's magecraft.
呪文もなしの暗示じみた金縛りにやられるなんて、遠坂が聞いたらなんて言うか。
That is kind of fucked up. Well, at least that was from mystic eyes learned through magecraft. Some monsters are born with mystic eyes and don't even need to lock eyes with their target. I hear that all they need to do is to look at I hear all they need to do is look to use whatever ability they have, but it's also extremely rare for people to have powers like that. And, luckily, Ilia's mystic eyes aren't unique or special. That just means sending magical energy at they're just a means of sending magical energy at a target. And that means there's no way to dispel the effect. There has to be a way to dispel the effect. Ilia's magical energy is invading my nerves, preventing me from moving. If I can get rid of the magical energy, that should be able to fix the paralysis.
泥が溜まってるなら水を流して洗えばいい。
I close my eyes and focus inward on my own body. I may not have had the skill to detect and remove forward magical energy that invaded my body, but I don't need anything like that, so as long as I'm dealing with magical energy that hasn't become a curse and taken root in my body. If Ilia's magical energy is lingering, stagnant in my body, I just need a strong flow of magical energy through the body to flush it out. Who are you apologizing to? I apologize to my body for what I'm about to put it through. All I have to do is focus on my daily routine. The ritual where I force a forward nerve down my spine. No, not anymore. I don't need to build it from scratch anymore. Now all I have to do is flip the switch in my head. Instead of creating a magical circuit in my body, I just have to switch the nerves into a magical circuit. I murmur the spell to focus myself. You don't use spells to change the world around you. They're to be used on yourself to empower you to change the world. For mages, that's the way to initiate a kind of self-transformation. Spells are the first, most basic magecraft used to create a mystic just for you, a command that will only work on you. My blood flows accelerates. Power builds in my blood. My body is becoming a machine for circulating magical energy. Probably thanks to the Gemto Saka made me swallow. Normally this would take me at least an hour. Now I'm able to do it almost instantly. I don't even need to flip the switch at this rate. I can just let the magical energy circulate and let my hands go. Actually, I say flip the switch, but I still haven't found the switch to begin with. Heat rushes into me. I try to get control over my pounding heart, and my hands slip from the bucking reins. Blood spurts from my mouth. You have internal bleeding. I must have opened a vein or torn through something inside myself. I channeled enough magical energy to flush out the mud that had invaded me, so it's no wonder I'm throwing up blood. Basically, luckily I don't feel any pain. Yeah, if you spit out blood, you have some kind of internal bleeding. It's an abnormality of my body that I still don't understand, but I'm delighted to have it at a time like this. The ability to heal any non-fatal wound was just... That's not true. You feel plenty of fatal wounds. To heal any non-fatal wound is my biggest and only strength right now. I do need to be careful not to rely on it too much, though. Since I still have no idea how it works, relying on it too much risks losing it all. So I can't rely on miracles. I just don't understand. I undo the rope. My wrists were bruised, but I wasn't bound tightly enough to cut off circulation. I don't think Ilia tied me up, but I wasn't bound very tightly. Besides, I doubt it was Ilia who carried me in here. Anyway. Who's here other than Ilia? Who's here other than Ilia might not be all that strong? I rise to my feet as I try to crack a joke. I can control my body, but I've pushed it too far. While I may be injured, magical energy is raging through my body. Just moving around is likely to tear up my insides out. It's probably the pain. Dizziness and nausea rack my entire body, and I have no feeling at the ends of my arms and legs. I'm not going to get home before Ilia gets back. Not like this. I slap my cheeks to start walking. What? As soon as I lean against the wall and start toward the door, I hear something on the other side of the wall. Footsteps. More than one set of footsteps. People are approaching my door and talking. They stop right in front of the door. You better hit the window. There's no time to hide. I need to. Do I have to fight? Well, that's not an impossibility, but that's probably not the smartest thing. I'm in no state to fight. I'll sit in the chair and pretend I'm tied up. Oh, they're coming to the door. Okay, so they're coming to the door. They're about to walk in. What do we do? These are... The question is, are these regular people or are they mystics? It's likely Elliot took the Zerker with her, so we don't have to worry about that. I'll sit in the chair and pretend I'm tied up. Or we could hide under the bed. But nothing else was disturbed, so they'll probably figure out. Or maybe they'll just be shocked. Let's just pretend that we're tied up. I don't think fighting is a good idea. There's no time for me to hesitate. I can't possibly fight like this, so I need to be careful until I've recovered. Put my wrists together to make it look like I'm still tied up. Door opens. Could it be Ilya or someone else from the castle? I just need to remain sitting here looking like I'm bound up, right up to the very last moment when the person comes to my room and... My eyes widen. Okay, we got points for Tosaka with that. For a moment, I genuinely think I'm hallucinating out of sheer desperate hope.
縛られているのですね。すぐに解きますからそのまま。
いや、縄は解けてるんだけど。
I bring my hands out in front.
話が見えないのですが、シロはここで囚われていたのでは。
いや、なんとか自由になって逃げ出そうとしたところで誰か来たから、とりあえず捕まったふりをしてたんだけど。
なるほど。敵を油断させて脱出を確かなものにしようとしたのですね。
Saber looks impressed. I'm not going to tell her that I hadn't managed to think of anything further than that.
それよりセイバーだよな。幻じゃない、本物のセイバー。
I stand up and touch Saber.
シロ、待ってください。そのように触られては。
本物だ。けどどうしてここに？
Seeing Saber and like stuff like this is really cute. I like it.
どうしてなんてそんなことは言うまでもないでしょう。サーバントがマスターを守るのに理由はいりません。シロが囚われたのなら助けに来るのは当然ではないですか。
いや、だからどうして俺が捕まったって知ってるんだよ。いや、そんなことよりどうしてここにいるんだセイバー。ここはイリアの隠れ家だぞ。今のセイバーが近寄っていい場所じゃない。
I think more specifically, how did you know I was even here?
それは私のセリフです。あなたこそ何をやっていたのですか。一人で行動するなとあれほど言っていたのに、やすやすとイリアスピールに拉致され、このような場所に監禁されるなんて。シロはマスター失格です。この件については何らかの謝罪をしてもらわなければ気が済みません。
確かにそれは軽率だった。けどどうしてセイバーがここにいるんだ。セイバー満足に動けないんだろ。だっていうのにイリアの本拠地に来るなんて何考えてるんだ。
あなたこそ何を考えているのです。サーバントはマスターを守るもの。シローが囚われたのですから、イリアスピールの本拠地だろうと関係はありません。
Saber is as blunt as ever. She's exactly as she's always been. This isn't the weak slumbering Saber from last night.
シロ、どうしたのです？急に黙り込んで。やはり捕まっている間に傷を負ったのですか？
いや、そうじゃない。俺のことはいいんだ。それよりセイバーこそ元気そうでよかった。
I'm genuinely relieved. I'm surprised to see Saber here, but I'm much happier to see that she's herself. I know it's selfish of me to think this way, but I think this is how Saber should be.
すまなかったな、セイバー。事情はよくわからないけど、俺を助けに来てくれたんだろ？
はい。サーバントとしてマスターを救うのは当然ですから。
ありがとう。お前が来てくれて本当に助かった。
What a relief. Everything's sorted itself out. Now I just need to get out of here with Saber. Wait a minute. Is that Tosaka?
Tosaka?
Are you real? Are you really right there?
思ったより元気そうじゃない。これじゃあ私たちが出向く必要もなかったかしら。
だからそう言っただろ、リン。エミやシロなど放っておけと。この手の男はな、周りに迷惑をかけるだけかけて、自分だけは生き延びるのだ。今回のはいい機会だった。
聞き捨てなりません、アーチャー。助力を頼んだのは私ですが、あなたにシロを侮辱する権利などないはずです。
いざ主が助かればそれか。マスターもマスターなら、サーバントもサーバントだ。協力者に対するありがたみなどないようだな。ま、いずれ戦う身だ。情など持たれない方がやりやすくはあるが。
Must have hit a nerve as Saber grows silent. This guy. He's not just unfriendly to me, he treats Saber the same way. To be fair, he treated Tosaka the same way too.
そこまでよ。今がどんな状況なのか忘れてるわけじゃないでしょうね、あーちゃん。おしゃべりなんてしてる暇はないわ。イリアスフィールが戻ってくる前に撤退しないと。
ちょっと待ってくれ。遠坂たちはここがイリアの住みかだって知っててきたのか？いや、そもそも。
Ilya left saying she was going to kill Tosaka and Saber. That means Ilya and Tosaka passed each other.
助かった。今頃イリアはうちに向かってると思う。遠坂たちがここに来てくれなかったらイリアと戦う羽目になってた。
ええ、そうみたいね。イリアとバーサーカーが外に出たのは確認したわ。まあ、そうでもなければこんなところまで忍び込まないけど。
I get it. Saber and Tosaka only managed to pull something so bold off because they saw Ilya leave. She's as bold as ever, but this time that brazenness worked out to our advantage. I'm impressed.
とにかく話は後よ。ここがアインツベルンのアジトって分かった時は覚悟してきたけど、合わないならそれに越したことはないでしょ。セイバーがそんな調子じゃバーサーカーには太刀打ちできないしね。
Tosaka gestures for me and Saber to separate.
遠坂、セイバーがそんな調子ってどこがだよ。
Bro, her situation didn't change all of a sudden.
もう以前のセイバーじゃないか。
あなたね、そんな都合のいい話があるわけないでしょ。セイバーは全く回復してないわ。立っているだけが精一杯って見てわからない？
リン、それは黙っていると約束したはずです。
悪いわね、そんなの破棄よ。黙っていてもマイナスなだけだし、そもそも隠し通せる問題じゃないわ。
それはそうですが、しかし。
She sounds so pained, and now I see nothing has changed about her situation.
セイバー、今の話は本当なのか？
はい。リンの言うことは正しい。恥ずかしい話ですが、今の私ではセイバーとして戦うことはできません。できることといえば、シローの盾になることぐらいでしょうか。
そんなことだろうと思ったわ。武装もできないぐらい弱ってるくせに一緒に行くって聞かないんだもの。戦えない代わりにマスターをかばおうとでも思ったんでしょ。
She's so weak she can't even arm herself? She was willing to become my shield since she couldn't fight? What kind of absurd nonsense is she saying? You guys really are alike.
すまないシロ。このような体ではサーバント失格だとは分かっていますが、それでも盾の役割はできます。不服だとは思いますが、今はそれで。
Oh, come on. Why does Saber never think about herself? Why is she only ever worried about everyone else? She just said that to you.
ふざけんな。そんなの不服に決まってるだろ。遠坂、お前なんだってセイバーを連れてきたんだ。今は俺のことよりセイバーの方がずっと大事だって分かってたんじゃないのか。
何よ、私だって反対したわよ。けどセイバーはどうしてもって聞かないし、そもそもセイバーじゃないとあんたの居場所は分からなかったわ。危険なのは100も承知だけど、それでもセイバーは必要だったの。
お前それでも。
I want to tell her she shouldn't have brought Saber, but I stopped myself. I have no business criticizing. It's only happening because I went along and got captured. And Tosaki and Saber were just doing what they thought was right.
口喧嘩も結構だがな。今はそこまでにしておけ、リン。マスターならば自分の住処の異常には敏感だろう。悠長に説明している暇はないぞ。
そうね、イリアスフィールのやつ、今頃慌てて戻ってきている頃だものね。いいわ、話は後にしてあげる。今はこの城から出ることが先決よ。それでいいわね、城。
What I'm confused on is if Shiro has his fucking switch turned on, should she be getting magical energy, even if slightly? If Saber's as bad as she was last night, it'll be hard for her to even walk right now. I don't want to push Saber any harder than she already has. Than I already have.
まったく、どうやら私も甘く見られたものですね。
セイバ
ー。いくら魔力が尽きているとはいえ、今でもシローよりは戦えます。私から見ればシローの方こそ消えてしまいそうで怖い。リンは気がついていないようですが、体内の魔力が乱れているのではないですか。
いや、けどこんなのは大したことじゃない。我慢すれば持ちこたえられる程度だ。俺は全然大丈夫だぞ、本当。
では私もシローと同じです。苦しいですが我慢しきれないものではありません。突然のことで状況がつかめないと思いますが、今はリンに従いましょう。話をするのならそれは家に帰ってからです。
Should we not go home? Saber encourages me to go. Should we not go to Tosaka's place? I give up. Looks so serious, so determined that I can't worry anymore.
そうだな。話したいことは山ほどあるけど、それは無事に帰ってからにする。
I want to ask about Saber's condition. I don't want to thank her for coming to rescue me. But now isn't the time to ask her about the dream I had.
よし、行こう、セイバ
I nod and get moving as best I can. Every step is a supreme effort, but this isn't the time to be winning. Even weakened as she is, Saber came all the way here. Is this a hallway? This corridor wouldn't be out of place in a museum. Ilia's castle must be massive.
ちょっと見とれてる場合じゃないわよ。この城から出ても外は一面樹海なんだから、急がないと朝になるわ。
一面の樹海？じゃあここ本当に山の中なのか。宮山町から車で何時間っていうあの樹海？
そう、アインツベルンの隠し城よ。
この城から出た後、何時間もかけて森を抜けなくちゃならないの。今は夜だし、朝日が昇るまでには森を抜けるわよ。
Osaka heads through the hallway, not hesitating for a moment. He's probably heading toward whatever door they snuck in through.
今が夜なのは知ってたけど、一体どのぐらい捕まってたんだ、俺は。
I thought it was about half a day, but maybe it's been actual a few days.
シローがイリアスフィールに囚われたのは朝方でしょ。それから半日が経過しています。日付は変わってしまいましたから、形の上では丸一日囚われていたことになりますね。
そうか、面目ない。
いいえ、そのようなことはありません。イリアスフィールに捕まってこれだけの時間が過ぎたというのに、シローは無事でした。体は囚われの身でも心では負けなかった証ではないですか。
それはそうかもしれないけど。
ええ、イリアスフィールは少女に見えてもアインツベルンの魔術師です。もし彼女に屈していたのなら、シローはシローではなくなっていたでしょう。私とてその可能性を考慮しなかったわけではありません。最悪、あなたは死んでいるものと覚悟してこの城に足を踏み入れたのです。だからここでシローと再会できてよかった。マスターが無事な姿を見せているのですから、私も負けるわけにはいきません。
You're the same. I couldn't stand knowing Saber, not knowing if Saber was safe or not.
ちょっと、やる気あるのかっていうのよ。もたもたしてると本気で先に行くからね。
Osaka pops her head from above the corridor to yell at us.
やば、話してる場合じゃなかった。急ごう、セイバー。
I break into a run, urging Saber to do the same. Ugh. Everything hurts, but I grip my teeth and keep going. I drive my aching body on, following Tosaka. As I half limp, half run, Saber brings up the rear. She must be in a lot of pain too. She's pretending to not be, but she's in no condition for this.
Saber, 苦しかったら。
I want to tell her I'll give her a helping hand, but to stop myself. Saying that would just make Saber dig her heels in and be more determined to not accept help. All I can do is keep an eye on her. Once Saber's too exhausted to complain, I just carry her. Honestly, Saber can be incorrigible sometimes. She has to be forced to even take a break. So do you! You fucking... how are they not seeing that they're so perfectly paired up to each other, for each other? But Tosaka leading the way, we managed to get to the exit.
出口ってここ入り口じゃないのか、遠坂。
何当たり前のこと言ってるのよ。玄関っていうのはそういうものでしょ。入る時も出る時もここが一番手っ取り早いんだから。
Tosaka hurries down the stairs. Well, I'm in no position to complain. Saber and I head down the stairs and into the hall. Looks like a lobby. All we have to do now is head out through the big door in the other end of the hall and we're out, which is where exactly Ilya and Berserker are going to be.
よし、ここまで来たら大丈夫。問題は森に出てからだけど、まあ夜だし、闇に乗じて国道まで出られるかな。イリアスフィールが戻ってきて、シロがいないって気づいたところで、後の祭りよ。あいつが帰ってくる頃には朝になっちゃってるしね。何よシロ、その顔。いかにも服装だけど。
Wasn't that easy?
いや、別に。遠坂は大物だなって再確認してただけだ。
変なところでおかしな確認するのね、あなた。
Well, I was more getting at her just walking into enemy throwing her through the front door. Yeah, right? What the fuck?
まあいいわ。とにかく外に出ましょう。帰り道は覚えているから迷うこともないしね。
We head towards the entrance. As long, narrow hall extends from the lobby, and at the end of it is an enormous door. The hall is unbelievably 30 meters long. I'm reminded that we're sitting in an actual castle, but in the next moment...
なんだ、もう帰っちゃうの？せっかく来たのに残念ね。
Who's surprised? Not me. Ilya shouldn't be here, but her giggling voice echoes up and down the hall. Alright, mark timestamp. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I assume a fight. Either we're gonna get an ally or someone's dying. I'll whirl around. Everyone skids to a stop. The instant we see our enemy, we know we're dead as soon as we turn our backs to him. Kosaka's voice trembles, like at the other end of the hall. We see her standing at the top of the stairs we just descended. She shouldn't be here. Ironically, it's a similar arrangement to our first meeting. Lee standing above us while Berserker behind her. Berserker's presence is overwhelming. Now that I can assess his servant's strength, I understand what a monster he really is. We can't do this. Even if Saber was at full strength, Berserker is just too powerful. It wouldn't even be a battle. That monster can't be beat, not in a fight. If we're ever going to beat Berserker, we have to figure out how to do it without fighting him. In other words, if we want to live, we need to stay far away from Berserker. Alia's voice is cheerful and bouncing. She's smiling the same smile I saw the night we met, innocent but merciless. She won't settle to squash us like bugs. And that's when I realized, we're not going to escape, period. No matter what I do, I can't stop Ilya. Even if I try to draw Ilya's attention, that won't let Tosaka and the others escape.
どうしたの？黙っていちゃつまらないわ。せっかく時間をあげてるんだから、遺言ぐらい残した方がいいと思うな。
She giggles. We don't have time to do these kinds of games. We need to run to the entrance the second we find an opening. Even if we know we'll never get an opening, all we can do is wait and hope.
じゃあ、一つ聞いてあげる。
Even in this situation, Tosaka takes a step closer towards Ilya.
リリアスフィール、あんたが戻ってきた気配はなかったけど、もしかしてずっと隠れてたのかしら？
そうよ。私はどこにも行っていないわ。私はね、ここからあなたたちの道化ぶりを眺めていただけ。
そう。外に出て行ったのは偽物ってわけ。
ええ、あなたたちが来ることは分かってたもの。私は主人なんだから、お客様のおもてなしをしないといけないでしょ。
Right then, the giant vanishes. And I'm not sure if it jumped or just moved. Next thing I know, Berserker appears in the middle of the lottery, creating a whirlwind. It's the end for us. We retreat towards the entrance, he'll slice us in half with the axe sword. The moment we turn our backs to him, but we're dead if we stay here too. Our only option is to challenge that walking mass of death, however futile it'll be.
おしゃべりはおしまい。それじゃあ始めよっか、バーサーカー。
The pale girl raises her head as if performing a ritual, and she looks down on us.
誓うわ。今日は一人も逃がさない。
Her declaration is equal parts murderous intent and delight. Berserker's eyes light up. Before Berserker had moved only as Ilya ordered, but now he's free to act as he identifies us as enemies. Something's making a grinding sound. Berserker grits her teeth as hard as if in regret.
あーちゃん、聞こえる？
Berserker speaks quietly without turning.
少しでいいわ。一人であいつの足止めをして。
she just ordered her servant to his death. Archer does not answer.
バカな。正気ですか、リン。アーチャー一人ではバーサーカーにはかなわない。
私たちはその隙に逃げる。アーチャーには私たちが逃げ切るまで時間を稼いでもらうわ。
Tosaka continues giving orders, ignoring Saber. Her voice is cold, devoid of any emotion. Archer, who had been silent as if pondering something, his eyes fixed on Berserker, gives a slight nod.
賢明だ。リンたちが先に逃げてくれれば、私も逃げられる。単独行動は騎兵の得意分野だからな。
He takes a step forward as if to protect Tosaka. Berserker doesn't move. Ilia's laughter echoes from above.
びっくり。そんな誰とも知らないサーバントで私のヘラクレスを止めるって言うんだ。なんだ、案外可愛いとこあるのね、リン。
Neither Tosaka nor Archer are in any position to object. They know better than anyone. Archer steps forward. He's empty-handed as usual. Tosaka looks at Archer's back. There's nothing she can say to him. She must know her orders are absurd. They are mounted to telling Archer to die so we can escape.
アーチャー、私。
Tosaka's about to say something, but
ところでリン、一つ確認していいかな。
Archer interrupts her, speaking so nonchalantly that it seems out of place.
いいわ。何？
Tosaka turns towards Archer, her eyes downcast. Archer's gaze stays locked on Berserker.
まあ、時間を稼ぐ。別にあれを倒してしまっても構わんのだろ。
Huh? It sounds completely ridiculous.
アーチャー、あんた。ええ、遠慮はいらないわ。ガツンと痛い目に合わせてやって、アーチャー。
そうか。ならば、期待に応えるとしよ
う。Okay, so if everything that happened up to this point is true, basically what Archer said it said was, if I'm gonna die fighting. Fuck that. So I respect that. Archer walks forward, only 10 meters until he reaches Berserker. At this distance, I can close on Archer instantly.
バカにしていいわ。やりなさい、バーサーカー。そんな生意気なやつバラバラにして構わないんだから。
Ilia's voice is hysterical. Tosaka turns her back, not paying attention.
行くわ。外に出ればそれで私たちの勝ちになる。
That is not true. Tosaka grabs my hand as well as Saber's and runs. Saber doesn't object. She follows Tosaka. I start running towards the entrance, leaving Archer behind. Then from behind me, he calls out to me, his back still to me. I let go of Tosaka's hand and turn around. In the lobby, now a good ways from me, I see Archer's back as he faces down Berserker.
いいか。お前は戦うものではなく、生み出すものに過ぎん。
Berserker draws near. Archer is still empty-handed and he does not take a single step while he watches his enemy closing in.
余分なことなど考えるな。お前にできることは一つだけだろう。ならば、その一つを極めてみろ。
Archer raises one hand. I have no idea when he got it, but he's holding a short sword now.
忘れるな。イメージするものは常に最強の自分だ。外敵などいらぬ。お前にとって戦う相手とは自身のイメージに他ならない。
I see him start to shift. Berserker's sword sends a rush of wind ahead of him. I turn and run, not staying to watch the clash. Tosaka and Saber are already at the entrance. I run and I don't look back. The sight of the men in red made it clear that I needed to go. We hurried through the long hallway and now through the gate. Hard as it is to believe, we were really in the castle. And an old one at that, hidden deep in a forest. The whole place is surrounded by trees as far as one can see. I can't see any buildings or even the sky in the distance.
3時間もすれば国道に出られるからそれまで走って。
3 hours. Honestly, I'm not sure I'll last that long. I'm not tired, but the pain gets worse with every step. If I could at least rest, my fever might break, but we don't have time for that.
シロ、早く。
Tosaka sounds every bit as hurried. She'd given Archer his orders. As composed as she looks, I could see the regret weighing on her.
分かってる。すぐに追いつく。セイバー、急ごう。
はい。急ぎましょう、シロ。
Saber's eyes are downcast, but she breaks into a run with us. We follow Tosaka as she slips between the trees. Saber's breath rattles loudly in her chest as she runs beside us. It's too dark for me to see clearly, but I can tell she's struggling. I can't ignore it any longer. Saber loses her balance. I sweep in from the side and take hold of her before she hits the ground.
これ以上は無理だぞ、セイバー。
何を言うのです、シロ。この程度の苦境、今まで何度も経験してきました。私はまだ十分に走れます。
何言ってんだ。何度経験していようが、苦しいものは苦しいだろう。いいから、少しは弱音を吐けってんだ。
I pull her arm. Saber hardly weighs anything anyway. I gather her effortlessly into my arms.
何をするのです、シロ。
何言って、しばらく休んでろ。そんな顔で走られてちゃ、こっちが先に参っちま
う。無礼な、話しなさい。この程度で私が倒れるとでも思っているのですか。
Saber struggles in my arms, but her resistance is weak. Her thin arms have no real strength in them as she pushes at my chest. It pains me to see that's how weak she's gotten. I never imagined Saber could be too weak to push away from someone picking her up.
何を考えているのですか、シロ。このようなこと、いくらマスターといえど許しません。
You alright, Day? Saber struggles against me, her face beat red. I can't really blame her. This must be a terribly embarrassing position for a knight to be in, but now isn't the time to worry about that.
嘘つけ。俺を振りほどけないぐらい弱ってるくせに大丈夫なわけがないだろう。それでも効かないって言うならレジを使うしかなくなるぞ。
卑怯な。こんなことでレジを使うなど、そんな無意を容認できるはずがない。
ならおとなしくしてろ。急がないと遠坂に置いていかれる。
But judging the writing of that scene, yeah. Saber must have given up as super likely. I will have to admit that this game did come out, like, this is a remaster. This game originally came out in like 2000, so like cut in a little bit of slack. Saber must have given up as she reluctantly falls silent. That's good enough for now. As long as she's not struggling, I can carry her and run at the same time. Spots burst across my vision. As I run, my blood pumps faster. I try to fight down the nausea burning at the back of my throat, gritting my teeth with every step. My breathing is erratic, but I do all I can to hold the pain at bay. There's a reason for that.
シロ、下ろしてください。やはり私も走りますから。
The moment she sees me struggling, Saber looks at me concerned. I can't stop now.
甘く見るな。セイバー一人どうってことないぞ。壊れたストーブに比べれば女の子一人分なんて空気みたいなもんだ。
ですが、
いいから黙っててくれ。ギブアンドテイクって言葉知ってるか？今まで助けてもらったんだから、これぐらいしないと釣り合わないんだよ。ここらで借りを返しておかないと明日から守ってもらえないだろ。
いえ、そんなことはないのですが、私の方こそこれでは釣り合いが取れなくなる。
They're literally perfect for each other.
そりゃよかった。じゃ、きついのは今回限りだな。がぜんやる気が湧いてきた。
I take a breath and pick up the pace. Tosaka knows very well that I have Saber in my arms, but she keeps taking us through narrow and narrow paths. It's a good thing Saber's so light, but following Tosaka is a trail... What? But following Tosaka is a trail on its own.
ほら、喋ると舌を噛むぞ。黙っていてくれた方が俺も助かるんだから。
はい。それではマスターの指示に従います。
Saber relaxes in my arms. She was tense earlier, which made carrying her harder, but now now it's a bit easier. The problem now is whether Saber and I will make it to our destination. I don't know how long we've been running. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. Running doesn't take a lot out of me. I've been training hard, and Saber is so light. But right now, there's something wrong inside me. The more I move, the dizzier I get. I feel like I'm about to throw up. I would have understood if I'd been bitten by a snake and the poison was doing a number on me since we're in a forest, but... This pain will bring me to my knees. It's just a heaviness inside my chest and a need to throw something up. And it's nothing compared to the heat I'm feeling in my arms right now. Saber's closed her eyes as if she were sleeping. She's not resisting, she's relaxed. Her body is growing hotter by the moment. What the fuck are you talking about? Her clothes are damp with sweat, and even though it's the middle of winter, and she's tucked her head down to hide her labored breathing. It'll be a repeat of that one night. The night Saber collapsed from exhaustion after using Noble Phantasm against Ryder. Saber's condition hasn't changed since that night. Was she able to talk until now because she was just in that brief window before she disappeared? I'll run an attempt to prevent that from coming true. I don't care what happened to my body. I move my feet as fast as I can, hoping that we can do something as long as we make it home. I very nearly trip and skate to a stop, leaning my back against a tree. I taste blood. So that's where the nausea is coming from. None got on Saber, but it was since it was a little bit, but the source of my nausea churns in my chest. Saber would be pretty upset about the waste of food I just threw up if I threw up. Actually, knowing Saber, she might well cut me in half for it. Yep, that's funny. The bit of levity lends me just a little more energy. Okay, break's over.
Saber.
She wasn't asleep. Saber speaks out from where she lays in my arms.
終わりって何が？
ですから、シロは一人で逃げるべきです。その体では私を連れて行くことはできません。
To be fair, even if he did leave you here or run, I don't think he'd escape.
そんなことあるか？今のはただ転んだだけだ。こんなの別にと。
あるわよ。そんな死人みたいな顔で何言ってるんだか。
Hey, Tosaka comes back for some reason.
強がるのは勝手だけどね。いくら夜の森だからって口元の血ぐらい隠しなさい。それじゃあセイバーに心配されるのも当然よ。よかった。リンがいるのなら話が早い。でしょうね。セイバーの言いたいことはわかるわ。時間もないことだし、そこの大バカにもわかるようにさっさと言ってやって。
Saber nods.
リン。私をここに置いていってほしい。私を連れていては逃げきれないし、何よりもう長くは持ちません。
But this doesn't make sense. Even if she kills the servants, she's still gonna come for these two and kill them. They are not safe after they leave this forest. can't really insist she's being ridiculous. Neither of them needs to remind me how much worse Saber's getting. Saber won't last long. I have the sense she won't make it until morning the way things are going.
そう。で、シロはこのままセイバーと心中する？
まさかそんな気はないし、セイバーは消えさせない。セイバーが消えるって言うんならレイジでも何でも使って。
オーケー、それならいいわ。じゃあ両方とも解決しましょう。セイバーを助けて、ついでに3人でこの森から脱出する。今後の方針はそれで決まりね。
は？
My brain feels like mushy tofu. Kosaka says the damnedest things, always so casual.
ちょっと待って。そりゃ確かにそうしたいけど、それができないから。
Like, I like Saber a lot. Tosaka's just that dude. Like, I'm saying. She's fucking cool.
いいからこっちに来て。言っとくけど、私も簡単にセイバーを死なせる気はないわ。
Well, I mean, in your case, Saber dying means you also die, so.
ええ、この機会は逃さない。あなたにはその責務を果たしてもらう。シローもいいって言ったし、そうしても構わないわよね、セイバー。
Kosaka looks towards Saber meaningfully. Saber doesn't answer. Instead, she averts her eyes awkwardly. Is this the part of the game where we have sex? Yes, it is the part of the game where we have sex. Once we pass through the exceptionally tall trees, something unexpected comes into our view. I don't think that's in this game, but I should probably get the sense already.
ここならしばらく身を隠せるでしょ。来るときにね、アーチャーが見つけておいたのよ。万が一の時の隠れ家にしようって。
Actually, I wonder compared to the original game, how many times sex has happened and we just passed it. Anyway. Trees shook the ruins. Only one of more rooms on the second floor remains more or less intact. The windows are miraculously undamaged and the brilliant moonlight casts the room in its pale glow.
割合綺麗じゃない。もしかしたら最近まで誰かが寝泊まりしてたのかもね。
What, does it even need sex? It doesn't, but that's how old games were. That's how eroge's are. They have a really good story and then sex happens for some reason. And then during, it's really, I can't remember the word magic used. It's very odd. I think she used the word diegetic, but I don't know how to use it correctly. So, it's very odd because, like, our main characters are like, oh my god, girls, I'll die if one touches me. And then, like, they have sex scenes and shit. But the original game did have sex scenes in it. Nothing phases this girl. Kosaka steps over the rubble and pats the bed near the wall with both hands.
シロこっち。セーバーを寝かせないとまずいでしょ。人に抱かれているのって結構体力使うのよ。
You say this from experience?
ああ、今行く。
I lay Saber on the old beat up bed.
どう？苦しいセーバー。まだ体を動かすのには問題ない？
Didn't realize Fate was a romance. I don't know about romance, but we do have a flowchart that has very specifically given us character points, if you can see here. Like we got, by choosing this option, we got points with Tosaka for some reason.
ええ、シローがここまで運んでくれましたから、まだ体を保っていられるようです。そう。ならあとはこっちの問題だけか。あれから1時間。イリアスフィールが追ってくるにしてももう少し時間はかかるわ。探すのに手間取れば朝方ぐらいまでは隠れていられる。
This reminded me of something. We've run as far as this through ruins, but what happens with Berserker and Archer? He stayed in the castle to hold off Berserker. It's already been an hour. Archer should have retreated from the castle by now. Yeah, did you not understand that? I mean, come on.
あいつは
Kosaka doesn't respond. She only presses her right hand in her heart. It's like she's clutching something precious. And that's enough to tell me what happened to Archer. Sokka's commands fell on her right arm. The master and the servant are connected. The same way Saber was able to detect when I was in danger, a master can sense when their servant is alive or dead.
Tosaka, あいつは
Fate stayed the night.
足止めだけでいいって言ったのにさ。あいつ最後までキザだったな。
Silence falls between us. Feels like the silence will last forever, but then.
けど無駄になんかしない。アーチャーを失った以上、バーサーカーはここで倒す。
The sound of Tosaka punching her hand into a fist breaks the silence.
悔やむのはここまでよ。悩んでいる暇があったら行動するのが私の心情。
I like Tosaka a lot.
あなたにも覚悟を決めてもらうからね。
覚悟って何のだよ。
決まってるじゃない。イリアスフィール、バーサーカーを倒す覚悟よ。
Alright, I'm gonna take a short break because I have to use the bathroom. There's ads gonna be running and we're hitting about the 3-hour mark. So, what's gonna happen is that for the VOD watchers, there's going to be a brief pause. I will come back, and then you guys will have another VOD, another part of the VOD to watch. I'm just gonna take, it won't even be, for stream watchers, it should take like 3 minutes at the longest. In fact, ads are about to hit you right now. So if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, all that stuff. Twitch chat, don't go anywhere. I'm going to be taking a short break.